The Horrible Gamers podcast may contain content not suitable for all ages. Listener discretion is advised.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Horrible Gamers podcast, show number 438, being recorded on October the 30th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Jesus Gonzalez, also known as Jesus Walks Out. Today I'm joined by my friend from the West Coast, the best coast. Gunny Chief is back. Welcome back, Henley. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. Happy Halloween, everyone.
Happy Halloween. And from Little Ohio, the Mayo is back. Steve Willier, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's up, Jesus? Yeah,
What's
happy
up?
Halloween. We got full dead corn season going on over here. Corn mazes and all that fun stuff.
Oh, cool. Nice. And from the Great White North, Ryan Gibson, Gib 8777777 is back. Welcome back,
Happy
Ryan.
Halloween, everybody! It's
I went
spooky
candy.
time.
So I got a question. I got a question for you, Canadian.
Okay, what's your question?
You guys celebrate Halloween the same time we celebrate Halloween?
Is it a
Yes.
universal thing?
Yes, we do.
Is it a universal thing?
It is. It's October
Halloween.
31st.
You guys have the same Hallow Eve as we do?
Yeah, it's just Thanksgiving, bud. It's just Thanksgiving. We don't do them at the same time.
Because you guys have the fake Thanksgiving.
And
No, we
4th
got
of
the real
July.
Thanksgiving. You see, when we have Thanksgiving, it's nice out. It's fall time. You guys have Thanksgiving in the middle of fucking winter when it's snowing and crazy and fucking stupid. It's a bad time for Thanksgiving. It's not a
We
good
have the-
time.
We have the best Thanksgiving in America.
Nah, it's a
Best
bad
one.
it's a bad time.
It's the best time. It's a lot of wine and turkey and yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. I guess Halloween is celebrated on the 31st.
Yes,
Everywhere.
it is. I'm not
Everywhere.
lying to you, Jesus.
It's just everywhere. I'm
I'm
looking this
telling
up.
you the truth, buddy.
This is everywhere around the
Guys,
world.
don't tell Jesus that we really celebrate Halloween on November 3rd.
Apparently, in most parts of the world, Gunny, can you believe that?
I did not
31st
know
of
that. I was
October?
always curious. Like, I guess whatever day it is in the world in that 24-hour period, that's when it's celebrated. I don't know. I always thought it was just an
That's
America
how it
thing.
works.
I thought it was an American thing too. Honestly, I didn't know Halloween.
I think it's more of a North American thing.
Yeah,
I don't know
It's a
if
harvest
they
thing, right?
do
It's
Halloween in
harvesting.
the UK. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I believe it's the
But-
harvest for like America. I guess I don't know.
Are you looking
I
it up,
don't know.
Jesus? Because
I'm
if you're not, I'm going to.
I'm on the Wikipedia for Halloween, and
We're
it
getting the
says here.
facts.
It says here that it's a Christian holiday, and it's one of the Christian holidays for All Hallows Day.
Then
which
why
is
is it not
November
recognized
1st.
as a day off?
No,
like a bank holiday?
No, it's because Halloween is the eve of All Hallows Day, which is on November
Yeah.
1st.
But that doesn't answer the question, though.
Mm.
Do
I
they
don't know,
celebrate
man.
Halloween in the UK?
Oh, I'm assuming they do if they're a Christian country, right? I'm going to
I would
assume
think
they
they'd have a
do.
harvest of some
I
sort.
don't know.
Mm.
Don't people
know.
dress up in different costumes and go to parties?
Yeah. It says here that in the UK it is celebrated on the 31st as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow, we learn something new every day, Mayo.
There you go.
Yeah, every
you go.
day. Always learning
Yeah.
something new.
I always learn
Happy
something
new
new on
fact.
this show. Happy fact of Halloween. It's a thing for everyone, I guess. No, I thought it was just America.
You
All
get
right,
Halloween,
okay.
and you get Halloween, and you get Halloween.
What's your favorite Halloween candy?
Everybody gets Halloween.
My
Just give me
favorite
some Reese
Halloween
Pieces
candy.
or the Reese peanut butter cup.
Yeah, those are good. Those are
Don't
always
give
the
me an
best.
apple. I don't want a fucking apple. I want Reese's
I hate
Pieces
when
peanut
people
butter
make
cups.
like their own. When people make like their own shit, like their own like caramelized apples and popcorn and shit. I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No,
Don't
that's
do
not
that.
good.
Don't ever do that. Don't be that
Yeah, that's a
guy.
little
Okay?
sus. You get a homemade
It never gets eaten. At least, like
No.
like that's gonna get thrown out if
Right
my kid
away.
brings it home.
Yeah. Like yeah, exactly. Your parents are never gonna let you eat that shit. Like some homemade fucking weird shit. No, hell no. Never do
I
that.
mentioned this before on the show. I remember in probably every year we've done this around Halloween, but we have a local dairy. It's quite. I wouldn't say it's large, but large enough to where the owners of the dairy live nearby me. So when I go to downtown where all the rich people live, and now that my son's older, and now my gosh, my son is 6'2", guys. Can you believe that?
Oh,
When we
I know.
started
I've
this
seen them.
podcast, I think he was like 2 feet. um, but we would go down there, and there'd be a lot of people because those people have a lot of money, so they obviously have a lot of candy. And it was always something that I enjoyed as an adult. But they would hand out the little milks,
Little milks,
little
milk.
milks, little chocolate milks, and I'm thinking,
like
yay,
the little
yay,
cartons, the little pints.
little cartons of milk, and I'm thinking like, why the fuck do I want milk?
Yeah.
Where's the
Now you
candy?
want it. Now you want milk because that shit's expensive.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Now,
Now I
now
can
you want
resell it.
extra. Now you go back in that house. Go back to that house. We're gonna hit that house
Yeah,
twice.
I'm definitely gonna
We
hit it
gotta
up this year.
stock up on some milk.
I'm gonna have my son I'm gonna put knee pads so he only appears to be 3 feet tall. Put him in a ghost, like a sheet, Yeah, we need to get
Be
candy
like that
wherever we
one
sell it.
guy.
Milk.
Be like that one guy that I've seen on Facebook a few years in a row, where he has a little mannequin, and he just takes the mannequin and sticks it by the door, and
Oh
knocks on
yeah,
the
I saw
door,
that.
and then the people give him candy and shit. It's just a little mannequin of a little kid.
So so little fact. I got another fact. Remember I was saying that I didn't think that they celebrated Halloween in the UK? It says
Okay.
it says here not all countries celebrate Halloween and some are only just beginning to open their arms to it, albeit somewhat begrudgingly. England falls in this category because it already has a holiday on November 5th, Guy Fawkes Day,
Oh,
Who
which
Fox
dates
Day?
back to 1605. Guy Fawkes?
Guy Fox.
we
Okay.
don't know who that is. We whooped their
I
asses. Okay, they should take our
It's
holiday and make it
it's
official.
the V for Vendetta guy.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah.
listen, Ryan. We beat the Redcoats. Okay,
All right.
we
Well, I
beat
was just
them.
trying to inform you about a
So they
Halloween
got
fact that I read.
they
So
got they got to follow our holiday rules now because we beat them. That's the rules. That's how it goes. anyways, anyways, people, you can follow us on Twitter _horrible gamers. Leave us a review and all that good stuff wherever you find us. Also, support the show with the monies like our best friends over here have, like Leahy, Jason Sams, Robert Noble, Chad, Henley M, Pork Chop Who, Nipron, the best HGP host ever, Evan, Raw Dog, Bark Tanaka, all in caps, by the way. And the first, Bill Gardner, the second of his name, renowned first ever HGP Patreon, father of dragons, Elden Lord, starborn pirate of the cosmos. Shout out to all of you guys for supporting the show with the monies. And big shout out to Phantom Mick for the intro and outro music to the podcast, and Broke for free as well. And yeah, let's talk about video games, guys.
let's
Video
talk
games.
about Halloween and how they don't celebrate it in Russia.
They don't celebrate it in Russia?
No,
You'd figure those
Russia
communists.
empathetically
That's
does
like a
not
communist thing to me.
celebrate Halloween. In
What
fact,
about North
Russians are
Korea?
very vocal about why the holiday is not welcome in their country.
Why?
Some
Why are they so
politicians and
vocal?
religions say, groups say it goes against their Christian and culture values and traditions.
Wow.
There you
Wow.
go. There you go. Another holiday fact.
That's Hardcore facts right there, guys. No bullshit though. I could see it. I could see it though. I could see that, Mayo. I could see that. Listen, being a Latin American, okay, myself, that's a fact. It's a fact, Mayo. I am Latin American. I know that's shocking for you.
I am a little shocked. You can't see in the
I know.
podcast, but I'm like, you what? You are?
He's like he's taken aback right now, but okay, I know he's a little shocked. But listen, growing up, okay, those are some things you don't bring into the house, into a Mexican Catholic home.
See,
One of them is a Ouija board. You never bring a Ouija board into a Mexican Catholic home. Okay, that's number one, Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, Harry Potter. You don't bring that. You don't bring that sorcery shit into this house. Okay.
No magic wands for you.
And number three, Halloween, like devil shit. Like you don't bring shit that like worships the devil or like fucking glorifies like demonic shit. You don't. It's not allowed. It's not like, even as a kid, man, we weren't allowed to dress like, we were allowed to celebrate Halloween. Like my mom wasn't like that crazy, but we were never allowed to dress up like the devil and shit like that. You had to be something else, like, I don't know, like fucking Batman or something. You know, you couldn't be like a
Yeah,
fucking
you could be like some scary demon
could
or
be a
some
demon
shit.
or a ghost.
yeah, you couldn't be any of that weird shit. You had to be like somebody else. Them's the rules, guys. Them's the rules.
Little Jesus with a run around as a tooth fairy running around through his neighborhood. I can see it now.
He's like
Little
Tinkerbell or
wings.
something. Yeah,
No, I was Batman quite a lot actually.
I'm
I
a
remember
fairy,
being
guys.
Batman. I was Batman quite a few times.
Me too. I
I
would
think
say I was
I
probably Batman or Spider-Man mask.
yeah,
That was my
Batman.
yep.
I think I was maybe a vampire once. I convinced my mom to let me be a vampire.
Did you
I
rock
was
one of them generic plastic masks that went over your whole face you couldn't see or breathe out of?
Yeah, had the little mouth holes.
Yeah, it had the little plastic
Yeah,
or little nylon string or whatever that
I
held
was
it
always
on.
the
And
Joker
get all
or
this
Batman.
condensation in it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Smell your own breath. Can't eat candy through here.
Yeah, man. But I hope everyone has fun tomorrow on Halloween, because it is tomorrow. Today is Monday. Tomorrow is Halloween here in the United States and around the world, apparently, if you celebrate it. So yeah, I hope you guys have fun. I hope you guys have fun up there in Canada. Whatever you do,
Do it
I
safe.
don't know, do it safe. Yeah, for real. No, honestly, because
Mhm.
shit gets crazy sometimes. Halloween
Yep.
is a good time to do crime because everyone's dressed up. So stay safe out there, you know. Don't if you see a dark alleyway, don't go down the dark alleyway, Mayo. Stay on the well-lit areas.
No, we don't have alleyways around here, Jesus. We just have cornfields.
Oh
Remember?
yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
bring
yeah.
those what are those neon sticks that you can just break and then they
Glow
give light?
sticks.
Glow
Yeah.
sticks. Yeah.
Yeah, get some glow sticks. Stick them all around the neighborhoods. Anyways, guys, let's talk about video games and stuff.
No, let's keep talking about Halloween.
Speaking of
I'm kidding. Let's
speaking
play
of
video games.
10 more days.
speaking of
One more day
Spider-Man
to
and
Halloween.
Batman, I have played a lot of Spider-Man this last week. Unfortunately, last week I couldn't make it to the show because on Monday, actually was like Sunday night, dude, I came down with like some really bad, like I was having like night shows. Like I was really cold, really cold all night long. I couldn't figure out why the hell, like I was like freezing, dude. And no matter how many blankets I had or whatever, I was just cold the whole night. And then the next day, my girlfriend told me that she was exposed to COVID. So I ended up testing myself, and like, you know how the test says it takes like 10 minutes to like complete or whatever, 15 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
That shit had a solid line, like a solid fucking positive line, like in a minute, dude. It wasn't even like a
It's
fucking
like,
a
nah,
minute.
you got this
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Yeah, it's like,
You're-
don't even think about it. You got this
You're
shit,
positive.
motherfucker. Yeah,
This
so
shit's all over you, man.
Oh, it was bad, dude, because I was running a fever that day. I felt like shit. My head hurt. So all last week I've been recovering from that. But
Yeah,
yeah.
recovering. Spider-Man week, City
Yeah,
Skylines 2
no work,
week.
just video
Yeah,
games.
recovering. Oh, I can't go to work. Yeah.
Oh, so hard.
Oh no, came down with COVID. Oh no,
What
what a
a bad
bad
week to.
time.
I know, right? What a bad week to get COVID.
He was probably trying to find people that had COVID and was hanging out with them on purpose. Be like, hey, you drinking that drink? Let me have some of that.
Yeah.
Share that.
Anyways, I came down with it. So last week I was playing a lot of Spider-Man, and I have to say, Spider-Man, it's good. It's really fucking good. I'm playing it, of course, on the PS5 because that's the only thing it's available on.
Mhm.
Now, the game has multiple modes for performance and quality. You can select quality or performance, and then from there, you can select if you want to have variable refresh rate or whatever. And then you can also like select 60 FPS, uh, 30,
30, yeah.
or 120 if your TV supports the 120. Um, and it'll adjust the resolution based on what you choose. And also, like if you choose quality performance, it gives you an option to do like 4K 40 instead of 4K 30, which is weird. But like it's like an in between resolution, which is weird. It's like a little bit lower than 4K, but it gives you a little bit of a bump on the frame rates. Now I ended up playing the game at 60 at the 60 mode or whatever, or the 120 mode. And I tried to switch it over to the 40 or the 30, and I couldn't do it, man. I honest to God, I tried. I went and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll sacrifice the smoothness of it for the looks.
Well, you made a big mistake, Jesus, because
And
you don't start at 120 and then go down to 30.
You
well, I
Start
did
at
work
it.
your way
30
up.
Yeah,
and then you
no.
work your way up.
Listen,
Right.
I did it backwards, okay?
Yeah, dude, big time.
And it did not work out for me. Like it felt like a slideshow going from 120 down to
I
30,
bet.
and I was like, nope, I'm not gonna do this at all. So I ended up just keeping it at where I was at, and then
This game
I've been
runs like
playing.
shit, but it looks pretty as fuck.
Yeah.
But even
Right.
at the 120 or the 60, it looks great. It does not
Yeah, I agree.
like at
Yeah.
no point in time have I sat there and thought like, oh
Dude,
man, this game looks terrible. Like no,
I'm
Well,
not at all.
watching.
they've added ray
I'm
tracing into the performance modes. You still get some ray tracing effects and stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
So like it doesn't like straight up have it all like mine. I have mine on I think the 120 hertz, performance
Mhm.
with a little bit of ray tracing. And it looks really good.
I'm
Yeah.
watching somebody play it on YouTube, compressed video at 1080p, and it still looks fucking good. Like
Yeah.
that looks good, and I can only imagine what it looks like to be natively playing it. You know,
I
Yeah.
will say Jesus right away from me, when playing through it, I was kind of like shocked to see the whole car, like runaway car scene reused in the
Okay.
game. I know they put it in all the other ones, but I was just like, I was hoping to have like
Again.
all new kind of little side missions to put in there. It just felt very like the animations were exactly the same. Like they just straight up copied it right out of the other game and then just put it right in there, and just I was kind of like, oh, I've been there, done this before, and I was
Yeah.
hoping that was like the first like crime thing I come across. I've come
Mhm.
across some other ones that were a little better, like we putting out the fires and stuff like that. But
Yeah, I agree with you. Like like the little criminal activities that come on when you're playing and you just run around, like a little thing pops up that goes doo-doo-doo-doo, and it's just like there's a crime going on over here. Someone's breaking into this house or whatever. Like those are kind of lame. I don't really do those. I'll do them if they're nearby though. Like if it's like on my
yeah, if
way to
you're on the way to
something,
your mission or something like that,
I'll stop by just to fuck those guys up real quick and get the XP or whatever. But like
well, yeah,
if
you
it's
get
out of
like
my way,
don't you get like city tokens or tech tokens for that too?
yeah.
I
And
know
then
I'm grabbing them as I go.
you end up unlocking the fast travel, which I've unlocked it in a couple of bureaus, but not like all of them. So I haven't really fucked with the fast travel. I heard it's pretty cool, but I haven't really messed with it. Um because I don't feel the need to. Like even the first 2 games, I never really did the fast travel. I always did just like it's always felt good to just swing through the city, you know. So, like, why would you want to fast travel when you could just like swing everywhere and do
Mhm.
cool shit, you know?
I
Um,
found myself too with the glider. I liked using the wingsuit
I
more than
like it.
swinging, and
I like
I
it.
was a fan of the swinging through the city, but like the
Yeah,
glider, the wingsuit option, I
it's a
found
dope
myself really
option,
enjoying it. I'm like, oh, this is really nice.
especially when you hit those like jet streams of air or
Yeah, and it
whatever that
gives you
like
little rings to shoot through. Then it kind of gives you a
yeah.
little thing to.
That gives you that boost or whatever to go really fast through all the buildings. That shit's really fucking cool. But I like the beginning of the game. The opening was very cinematic. It was
It
very
was.
like it was like a holy shit, like okay, like this is gonna be epic type shit. It was really well done. Right into the action. It feels like a badass like the intro to like a badass Spider-Man movie, you know? It's like you and Miles are fucking fighting Sandman. He's fucking running through the city, just fucking everything up, and you guys are just chasing them, and the sand's going everywhere. You see sand being left behind on the street, and everything's getting wrecked, and he's smashing through buildings, and you're going through the buildings. That shit was really fucking cool, man. I thought that opening sequence was awesome.
Yeah, it
And
was probably
now
what, a 10-minute sequence,
Oh, it
maybe.
was literally, yeah, like a 10-minute sequence. You're just fighting this dude for like 10 minutes, and you're like, holy fuck, this guy is really powerful. Like I never thought how powerful Sandman was until like you fight him in the beginning here for like 10 minutes straight, and you're like, holy crap, this guy is actually like pretty powerful, you know, like like you never think about that, you know, like you always thought, he's Sandman, whatever, Spider-Man could beat him. But like seeing like Spider-Man and Miles, they're both struggling to fight this guy and they're fighting him together. That was crazy. I was like, that's pretty fucking cool. And I really enjoyed that part of it when they're fighting together, when you're like fighting on the rooftop and then the other Spider-Man shows up and he's fighting with you and you both are just fucking jumping around and kicking everybody's ass. That shit was fucking cool,
Hmm.
man. I was like, that's epic. And that
Yeah.
happens a lot in the game, actually. It happens a lot where you run into like I would say other heroes or like side hero character types. Like they're like villain archetype characters, but they're also fighting the bad guys, so they're not really the bad guys at the moment. So they're helping you fight the bad guys. And there's a lot of those moments in the game where you run into that. You'll run into like a side crime thing where like it'll say like, oh, there's a base over here of the bad guys. So you run over there to clear that out. And when you get there, you realize that Black Cat is there and she's fighting these guys. Or the other chick, I forget the other girl's name. The one with the purple mask. Fuck, I forget her name. But she'll be there and she'll be fighting them or whatever. Or some other character will be there fighting them too. And you're like, holy fuck, like you're fighting these guys together with these other people. And you're like, oh, this is kind of cool. Cause then you guys sometimes they'll do like a trick or like a kill off of how like you do like a combo like an attack together on
Yeah,
an
it was
enemy, you
like
know.
it's about where I quit playing Jesus, where I did the thing with Black Cat, where you're chasing Felicia down as Miles,
Yeah,
and you're trying to warn her, and she has that teleport, device,
that's sick.
kind of like you had like and ripped apart, or whatever. Not
Yeah.
as so much, but you're going through and you're chasing her, and then you start fighting those enemies, and then she starts helping you, and there's
Mhm.
like you do like a combo sequence, and then she would open a
It
portal and
warps
like
in.
finish them off, and
Yeah.
then so there's more of that coming, huh?
There's a lot more of that coming with
Nice.
other characters. Not even her. Sometimes she shows up. I think she shows up again in the story. But then there's another character shows up. Like these other characters keep showing up in the game because the whole point is this guy Craven or whatever. He's trying to like
He's
hunt.
hunting everybody. Yeah.
Yeah, he's hunting all like he's trying to be like a
He's trying to
badass
find a
and
he's
hunt
trying
the
to find
most
the
badass.
strongest he's trying to find the strongest villain or whatever, right?
Yeah, or the strongest
And
hero to kill.
and they
Yeah,
have to be able to like defeat him or whatever to
yeah.
take that crown.
So he
So,
wants to fight all the bad guys. So you're trying to warn all the bad guys about him, and some of the bad guys end up helping you out eventually. And it's
yeah.
kind of cool, man, to see like it's kind of cool seeing these bad guys as good guys, kind of, because it's like whoa, like I didn't realize this many villains were in New York City, but I guess Spider-Man has a lot of enemies,
Yeah.
like you think Spider-Man and you just think like the Green Goblin and like those motherfuckers, maybe Sandman,
Doc Ock.
Venom.
Doc Ock, Venom. But you don't think of like these other random characters and you're like, holy fuck, like there's a lot of bad guys in this city, dude. And it's kind of cool seeing them all kind of like team up together with Spider-Man to like say fuck this Craven guy or whatever. Let's fuck him up instead. Um, but it's really cool, man. The game is super well done. I love the big set pieces in the game because the game has its lulls, right? It has like stupid little side missions. Some side missions where you play as MJ and you have to do like a stealth sequence. There's some of those which
I
I
could do
didn't
without
really
a lot of
like.
that. Me personally,
I
like
didn't
it takes
like
me
it.
out of it.
Yeah, I didn't like it honestly, but it does progress the story and it does kind of tell
Mhm.
the story a little bit, But that shit was in the other game, and I did not like it in the
Yeah.
other game. And it's back in this game. They brought that back where you're playing
Is
as
it
MJ.
since you're further into the game? Is it more so? Because I've heard that it's more so in this one than it was the other ones.
I've only done one big mission with her where like you're playing as her, and it's actually quite a significant like mission. Like it goes on for about half an hour to an hour where you're playing in like these maps or whatever,
But
and
is
you
there
have
a
to
lot
sneak through.
where you're like Miles or Peter, like out of
There's a
costume?
lot of those.
Yeah.
No,
See,
out of the
I'm not a fan of
costume,
that so much.
out of the costume, not so much. Sometimes there's been a few where you play as. There's been a few where you play as Peter out of the costume, or like as Miles out of the costume. But the thing about them, I feel like a lot of their friends know they're Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like a lot of times, like you don't play out of the costume. They know you're Spider-Man, so you'll be out of the
Like
costume for like 2
Mary Jane knows
minutes.
he's Spider-Man, and then Miles's
Yeah,
girlfriend knows that and
Mhm.
yeah, that
Miles's
he's
family knows
Spider-Man.
that he's Spider-Man too, right?
Yeah, like his mom knows.
Yeah.
Everyone knows he's Spider-Man. So
Because we
like
did.
maybe you'll be out of costume for like 2 minutes, and then it'll just switch over. Something will happen, and right away you'll
Okay.
switch over, and you'll be Spider-Man again. It's kind of fast, to be honest,
Good. I
with all
remember.
that.
I'm sure you'll. Yeah, obviously way further than I am. Was the part like I was thinking about off the top of my head where it shows like Peter and you're with Harry and you're going through
Mhm.
the school. It's like a flashback, and then there's
Yeah,
a couple of the little things where you're going back in time or whatever, and it's showing that. But then there was little things I did like what they added, like when they did the little when Harry and Peter were shooting baskets, and you had to
yeah,
use the controller to aim, to actually,
yeah,
move your controller around by hand. You couldn't use your analog sticks, you had to actually move the controller to line up.
yeah.
That
And
that
they give
PlayStation
you,
magic, like, and that
yeah,
controller magic. Oh, man.
they do use a lot of the haptics like that, and they also do it to where there'll be times where you have to like pull the triggers and you have to pull them at different tensions.
I like
And
that
like
in the one mini
you
game,
could
you have
see
to
that like
adjust.
those little mini games where you have to like pull the triggers and like line up the things with the triggers, and it's kind of like like different, and like the tension is different on each one, so it's kind of like a little bit like it's easy but not like it feels gimmicky but not like so much. You're like, this is kind of like cool, like
It was, that was my impression, and the whole thing, like, with the Sandman thing, when you break those, little shards open, you pull open the Sandman, like his memories or whatever, you gotta, like, squeeze the
yeah,
triggers, but they have resistance, so you gotta squeeze kinda
yeah,
harder, and then when it breaks, they release,
yeah,
so
the
you're like you
release,
feel it.
yes,
Or, like,
yeah,
when you and I were talking the one day, like, when you're Spider with Harry or Peter Parker, and you're riding around with Harry on the bicycle, and he's pedaling
you
the
could,
bike, and you can
yeah.
feel the kinda like the chain
You could feel the
going
chain
through
on the
the
controller.
controller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really cool. I noticed that right away. That was one of the things I noticed with the haptic feedback on the controller was all those little haptics is really taking advantage of all that. Um, which I'm a big fan of, and you guys always know I've always been a fan of those haptics on those controllers. And I'm glad Xbox is finally gonna get on board with that shit because they need it for sure. Um, can you imagine the things you could do with Forza with all those haptics on the Forza, like on
Right.
the racing when you're going around corners or hit a bump on the road or something? It could be really cool. Um, but yeah, I've just been playing a lot of Spider-Man, dude. Like a lot, so much. I've been doing a lot of dumb side quests, a lot of like stupid little side missions, but a lot of the main story missions as well. And I'm pretty far into it. There was a moment in the game where you run into Venom. And if you started in Mayo, you probably have an idea who Venom is right now if you've played it, right? Like you have an idea who it is,
Mm-hmm.
and that changes there's a pivotal moment in the game where something big happens to Spider-Man and Venom changes to a different character completely. And you're like, holy shit, what the fuck just happened? And then like the game is kind of like now I don't know where the game is going. I don't know like what's gonna happen in the end. I have a feeling I kind of know where the story is headed at the end and who's gonna be fighting who. But I'm excited to see that play out. And I'm excited to see where they go with it because like Venom is badass, dude. Venom is a bad motherfucker. Let me tell you that. Like
Dude,
that motherfucker is powerful.
Venom's one of my favorite fucking characters.
That character
He's
is
a lot. Like a lot of
powerful.
people like him in the Spider-Man universe. Pretty much,
He's a badass
he's their
character.
favorite.
He's
Yeah.
he's like an alien character that like makes
Dude,
the fucking whoever's wearing it super powerful, dude. You know,
I have a
it's
small
so
crate
sick.
full of Venom comics. This is
Yeah,
like one
it's
of my
so
favorite
cool.
characters through the years. It makes
But
me
I'm
sad that I
excited.
can't play this goddamn game.
Yeah,
Well, you
but
could,
I'm
Ryan.
excited.
You
Well, you
could.
could.
Fuck it. No, I couldn't. There's no way I'm gonna buy a PlayStation 5. Not at the fucking price that they're charging. Fuck them.
Yeah, I did see
But
a complete PS5 at the Costco yesterday.
I
It
will
was
wait
nice.
until it comes out on PC. I'll play it
maybe a
on
year.
PC.
Yeah. Yeah, and the cool thing about the PC when it does come out on it, most likely it'll have all the DLC that comes along for it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hyped, man, to see where the story goes, Mayo. Some of the set pieces and some of the things you're gonna experience are gonna be really cool. And I do like it. One thing that I am really impressed with is the city. The city, man, like
Yeah,
when
it's very vibrant.
when you're going through the city, it looks so fucking real sometimes. Sometimes just the way the lighting is hitting the buildings and like the shadows and you're as you're swinging through the buildings or flying through them or whatever you're doing, it looks so fucking epic and you're like, holy shit, it looks like a real city. Like it like if you could probably put this in front of a fucking care home of boomers, okay? Go to a care home and plug in your PlayStation 5. Start playing this shit and tell people that's New York City and they would fucking believe you. They would be like, yeah, that's New York City. Like there's no doubt. Like that motherfucking shit looks real, dude. It's insane to me how real it looks. And now like they've added a little bit more details into the city as well. Like now when you're going up like like when you're walking on the side of a building or crawling or whatever, you can actually look into the windows a little bit more now and actually see some characters inside their apartments or the offices doing things inside. And not that like that's kind of neat. Like you didn't see that in the previous games. In the previous
I
games,
think
you would see like empty interiors and
I could be
shit.
wrong too. Jesus says I think I was watching a video from Digital Foundry on it, and one thing you can do, and they talked about how they did it, but I think it shows like reflections in a reflection. So like the reflection of like whatever in a window, you
Mhm.
can see a reflection that's in another window that it's reflected off of. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
one window could be reflecting another window, and that shows on some of the scenes as well. And it's just something where they coded it and stuff that where it wasn't like this huge performance hit, but it enabled
It
that.
looks really good. Um, the only thing I was thinking now is I think in the future, right? Say the next console or whatever, the PS6. I think that by then, when that Spider-Man game comes out, we're gonna see a lot of sequences. This is gonna be a thing in the game, I think. Where you're gonna see a lot of sequences where you're fighting as Spider-Man through the city and somebody punches Spider-Man really hard, right? Like kicks him or punches him. You're gonna see the character like Spider-Man fly through a window of an apartment, and then you'll be fighting inside the apartment, and then you'll swing out the other window and keep fighting on the side. I guarantee you that's gonna happen eventually, because that seems to be like where they're going. Because that kind of happens in this game sometimes, where you'll be like in the big missions, you'll get slammed into a building and you'll like crash the building and start fighting inside of it and then go back outside. I could see that being more of a thing where that happens more than often, like more often in the future, you know. Just with better hardware, I could see it happening because they could totally do it. I think they can. I think they could get away with it. I think they can figure it out. Um, but I'm excited to see where the story goes. I'm excited to see what happens with Venom, Spider-Man, the other Spider-Man, both of the Spider-Man, and Craven, the bad guy. He's a badass motherfucker. That bad guy, he's tough, dude. He is a real bad motherfucker. Like he's not just like a little bad guy. He is a big bad motherfucker. He is the bad guy of bad guys. I feel like he's a tough dude, man.
It's funny. I thought he was going to be a real throwaway character, and he's really not.
No, he's not. He's like a real bad motherfucker, dude. Like he
Yeah.
fucks up Spider-Man a few times. There was a few missions where I ended up like kind of like almost fighting him. And like the dude is tough as fuck. He will fuck your shit up. He will definitely fuck you up. So it's cool to see that character like see him coming after Spider-Man and coming after Venom and all that shit because he wants a tough enemy. And that's what he's doing, right? He's hunting all these enemies down or whatever. So I'm excited to see what plays out there. I'm just honestly I'm a little bummed. Just I know it's weird, right? Because Microsoft just acquired Activision for $70 billion. I am a little bummed that Sony owns Insomniac. I wish Insomniac was an independent developer. I wish there were like
Me too.
those guys, man, because they've killed it the last few games they've made, dude. Sunset Overdrive was fucking cool. The only
Dude,
downside to
every
Sunset
game they
Overdrive
make is good. Every game they make is good. You know,
you
some
know,
are better than others, but every game they make is fun to play. You know.
but Sony was really smart in acquiring them when they did, when
Yep.
they were
Yes,
kind of down.
that was a good
And
purchase.
the only reason they were down was because of Sunset Overdrive being exclusive to the Xbox One. That fucked them, you know what I mean? Because it didn't sell as well, you know? And that was back when there was no Game Pass. There was nobody like if Sunset Overdrive was to come out today and be Game Pass day one, that game would have been such a bigger hit than it was when it came out. Because that game was fucking good. It was an amazing game.
fun
It was
game.
fun
That
as
made
hell
me
to
get a
play.
PS4. That made me get a PlayStation 4. I have the Pro,
Yeah.
so that's what made me get it.
You
What?
mean Spider-Man, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm about to say not Sunset Overdrive. Sunset Overdrive is an Xbox game. But like, yeah, that's
Wasn't that a
kind of
timed
what
exclusive?
put. No, that's
No.
an Xbox exclusive.
Oh, okay.
But Sony
But,
owns
like-
them now, so
Yeah, but Sony owns them now, so like it's weird, right? I don't know how.
I think they
how
own the rights to that too. I think Insomniac owns the rights to
Yeah.
Sunset Overdrive.
I think you're
um,
right. I think they do too.
So if they made a Sunset Overdrive 2, it would probably be Sony exclusive.
Oh, that would be a good game.
Yeah, so just
I
on
could just-
Steam, I think just on Steam and Xbox.
No, it's just on Xbox. I don't think Sunset Overdrive is on PC at all.
No, it got a Steam rating, a 9 out of 10, and
Did it?
IGN gave it a 9 out of 10 on Xbox, I think.
Anyways, that game is
Console
fucking
exclusive.
good.
Yeah.
And I wish that developer was independent because I wish more people could play Spider-Man, dude.
But there was a lot of good games in that early time of Xbox One that kind of just got shit on because of the whole shitting on Xbox.
That's what I feel like this month or this end of the year has been. I feel like some games are really going to get left behind. It could be really good because it's a crowded market this year.
Yeah, this year's big time.
I have a few already that have just gotten pushed way back on my list.
Mm-hmm.
So
And but I'm excited to see what Insomniac does. I think their next big game, right? Isn't it?
Wolverine.
Isn't it the Wolverine game? Yeah. So I'm excited to see what they do with that. If they can put as much love and like they can make the combat fluid like
I think it's
Spider-Man.
gonna be it's gonna be Spider-Man with another skin on it, with a Wolverine skin, and a little bit of BattleTech difference.
Yeah, you can't swing.
Yeah. Well, I guess you'd probably be able to crawl on walls, though.
Crawl on walls, maybe run really fast, maybe.
Yeah, run fast across walls, shit like that. I think that's
Yeah, I
probably
mean
how
that'd
you're
be
gonna
easy
get
for them to
around.
do though. They just take away the swinging mechanic.
Kind of
And,
more like
Yeah.
Crackdown or Infamous, or you know what I mean, like
Mhm.
where you're just kind of like fast moving.
But I am loving Spider-Man, dude. I fucking love that game. That game is so fucking good.
Yeah,
And you know
I'm
what?
not even playing it, and I fucking think it's an amazing game. Like I'm
Oh,
watching
it
it,
is.
and it's fucking great. It runs really good. It's smooth as fuck. The combat is
Yeah.
fluid and all goes together nicely. Like everything it's a good game.
It's
Hats
a
off
great game.
Insomniac, man. They're
Yeah,
knocking it out of the
they're
park again.
really I feel like they really are showcasing the power of the PS5 with this game because like Ryan said, or like Mayo said, despite it being at performance mode for 120 or 60, there is still ray tracing effects being used in the game. You know, there's still ray tracing that you can see in the windows, on the lighting on the ground, etc. So there's still, I feel like they really are using the power of the PlayStation or trying to utilize as much of it as they can, and they did a really good job with it and optimizing it really well. Um, I'll see what they do moving forward now with Wolverine and all that shit. So hopefully they can continue making these great games. You know, it's
I think
weird,
they
you know,
will.
because Mayo was right. There's a lot of games coming out, and it's mostly from Microsoft right now. You know, despite the fact that like people say Microsoft has no games, they're the ones pumping out most of the games right now.
It's what I
And
said. It's like what I said about like the whole COVID thing was shifted. It hit Microsoft before it hit Sony. Now Sony's going into that drought. And
yeah,
they're kind of they had stuff in the pipeline that was closer to being ready when COVID hit. So now they had a bunch of games to put out while everybody was scrambling to get their shit together. Now everyone's got their shit together and Sony hasn't fucking kept their shit together in order to continue that.
yeah.
You know what I mean? So they're kind of in that slump now. And I mean, I
Who
think they were
knows?
hoping that, PSVR and this PlayStation Portal garbage was going to help them out, and it doesn't. It just doesn't. It hasn't moved the needle at all for them.
Yeah, we'll see how well PlayStation Portal sells. I think they already started selling in Japan and other parts of the world.
I saw the
Comes
pre-orders
out.
today.
It's
Jesus,
it's
at
going to be a
Costco.
very niche market. Like there's people that are
Oh,
going to want it. There's people that are going to use it and they'll probably love it and whatever,
yeah.
but it's not going to be a mass market thing. It's just not.
I'm gonna get one, I think, just to be able to play my PlayStation over at my girlfriend's house. Just for that. That's the only reason I want it. That's literally the only fucking reason. And that's why I want to get one. But like
Why
other
don't you
than
just get
that,
a PlayStation Slim?
I thought about that too, honestly. I honestly did. I thought about like I just get another PS5 and just leave it there. And just have two of them, I guess. I don't know. but but yeah, I really am looking forward to seeing the ending of Spider-Man and seeing what continues and what happens with the story. I like all the characters in that game. I like all the bad guys. I like all these side characters. They're all so well done. All the characters are well done. Even like
Yeah.
Harry, MJ,
Hey,
Miles' mom. They're all
I
well
don't know if
done.
this is a spoiler or not. Does Gwen show up at all?
I don't think she does. Well, she hasn't for me yet.
I wonder if she shows up. Probably not in this game. I'm almost wondering if she shows up in the next game
Or the DLC.
or maybe DLC. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, I
because
can see it.
that would bring the three of them together,
Yeah.
and I think that like she would be good for that whole series to like kind of bring the female Spider-Man in and
Yeah.
kind of appeal to the female audience more. Yeah, I
I
think that would
agree.
be great. I'd like to see her come in
Yeah. Because
because
Spider-Man.
her and Miles have a really good story. Like,
Yeah. Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man. So like both of them, I like him being in the game because despite it being, they're both Spider-Man, right? Or at the end of the day, they're both Spider-Man, but they do have different, like way different abilities. Like they're like the way they are, the way they fight. It is way different with each one. Like Spider-Man is more gritty. He's more old school. He's more like he's just more old school. He's a little bit slower, a little bit tougher, and Miles is like a fast character. He just goes in there and fucking uses his electric powers, and it's so much more. It's more fluid when you're fighting as Miles. When you're
Yeah.
fighting as Peter Parker, you're fighting more like grittier. It's
Technical.
like
Yeah.
it's more grittier. It's like a tougher fight, but he
Miles
can
uses a
take
lot
more
of
damage.
gadgets and stuff too, right? Like
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
got that
Miles has
the
all that.
gadget where it like pulls all the fucking guys together and smashes them together, and then you fucking destroy them
Yeah,
all. Yeah, it's
and they can both use the gadgets. They both have them,
but
but
they have different ones, don't they?
no, the
No,
gadgets
or
are
is it the
I
same
think they've
shared.
ones?
been the same for me so far.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
maybe it
gadgets are
is.
Do
shared,
you
but
do you have a preference on who you like to play though? Like when you have the
I
choice, do you
like.
like Peter
I
or Miles better?
honestly, I honestly like Miles better. I mean, I like old school Spider-Man, dude, but like Miles is just a cooler character, I think,
Hmm.
He's got better like swing animations and stuff too.
because he's faster. He's like so
Yeah.
much more fluid. Yeah, he's
He's like
like the
doing
other
like more
guys.
acrobats and stuff when he's like swinging from web to web.
Yeah,
I've noticed that. Yeah.
yeah, but I like them both. They're both cool characters, and they both have their own like cool abilities, and like I said, Mel, you'll see what happens, and then later on with Venom and how that changes the game up a little bit for you as you play. Because
You saying Peter?
that character is badass.
You saying Peter's like a
He's like a boomer.
he's a boomer. That's
He's
what I was
Boomer
gonna
Well,
Spider-Man.
say.
they made him look a little older in the game. You
Yeah.
know, I don't know if
Yeah,
I care for the way they
Swinging
made him
since the
look. You know,
70s.
it was a little
they
jarring at
changed
first.
his look from the previous game. You
Yeah.
noticed that, right?
No, yeah, right away.
Yeah. So he looks like the character from the movie, from that Into the Spider-Verse movie or whatever. That's what he
Yeah.
looks like. He looks like that character now. He doesn't look like the old Spider-Man. It looks weird
I
as
just
fuck.
I kind of figured they had to make him look a little older because of Miles being younger to make
Hmm.
it kind of work right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Still
and his
still
more of a
living with his
mentor.
parents.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
It makes sense.
it definitely does. But I still,
it
yeah,
was
that was a little
jarring right
jarring
away.
at first.
Yeah,
It
when I first
was.
seen him come in as a teacher, I'm like, "Is that Peter?" And he's like, "Hi,
Yeah.
I'm your teacher today." You know, and I'm like, "Oh, okay, yeah, okay."
It's fucking Peter, man. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I'm with you there. I that really was a little bit jarring for me as
Probably
well.
drove an old Volvo car.
Drove a Subaru to work.
Saab. Remember those? The
A
Saab.
fucking Saab.
S-A-A-B.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Spider-Man, great fucking game. If you have a PlayStation, pick this up. You know, it's a good fucking game.
It's
You know,
it's the must play game right now.
it
If
is.
you have a
If you
PlayStation, you need to
play
play
it,
that game.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But
No,
there's something else that came out recently, and I know somebody here has played it. And it's a game that I can't wait to get my hands on personally. Mayo,
Oh yeah,
yep.
what have you been playing, buddy?
oh yeah. So the same day I picked up Spider-Man, I picked up Super Mario Wonder, Ryan. And
Nice.
Jesus, and this game is good. I was telling Ryan just the other day that as good as Spider-Man has been, I don't know if it's because it's got some of the same as the other games in it. Like I find myself thinking about and wanting to play Mario more than I am Spider-Man.
Yeah,
And Mario Wonder is great. Like the animation in that game and the polish in that game
looks
is insane.
fantastic.
Like
Yeah,
they went, you could tell they put some effort into this game. Like they were like, okay, we're gonna show everybody in the world how to make a side scroller, how to
yeah,
properly do it.
yeah.
And even though it's on this limited hardware of a Switch, you know, it looks amazing. And it's so smooth and the little animations and the little touches they add in this game.
Yep, like
Just
Mario coming through the pipe and giving you the thumbs up, and
or he'll grab his hat, like he
yeah,
goes in the pipe and his hat stays out and he reaches out and grabs his hat and
grabs
pulls
his
it
hat.
in.
Yeah,
And it just the little animations like I watched a video from Digital Foundry talking about like when he jumps, he holds the pose, and that was all in the science. Like giving it the old original Mario feel, even though it's like a 3D environment, he holds that pose on purpose to give you that feel.
Yeah.
But going through playing, like, so we started off playing. I started playing this with my son, couch co-op, 2-player, and so we're like halfway through the game, and it's just every time we hit a wonder flower, they talk about that. It's something random and crazy and stupid's gonna happen, and you just don't know what. It's like, what's gonna happen this time, and it's crazy. I mean, you go from top down view Mario. You have ones where it's like raining star powers, and you're running through. You'll have ones where the pipes all come alive and they're crawling around. You've seen that one on the ad. There's one that like you become like a silhouette, so you're like this black shadow, except you're like super tall and skinny with the little eyes, and you can see your eyes, and you gotta like duck and move around enemies, and you gotta kind of like jump and stuff. There's ones there. There's this one that's or these like rhinoceros type enemies all start stampeding, and you gotta stay on top of them, and they're busting through rocks, and you gotta like work your way through. But they always have some kind of goal at the end of them to get to the seed, and they do have a time limit on that aspect of it, but the rest of the game doesn't have a time limit either. And so there are so many hidden levels and so many little things like classic
Nice.
Mario had that you can find and discover, but they don't put a time limit on the level anymore. So you don't feel rushed. So you can look around and you can play with things. But there is still those situations where you might have like there's like these 3 coins on a level, like big giant coins, kind of like when the old Mario's had the big coins. These are like a flower shaped coin, and there's 3 of those for every level. There is times where you can come across one, and if you mess up the kind of like the quote puzzle to get to it, you might not be able to. If there's a turtle over there and he has a shell, you may need that shell to do something to be able to get down there. And if you kill that turtle, you just got to come back another time and try to beat it. But so that's been really, like the challenge there. Each level has like a difficulty rating, so it's kind of weird. So when you beat a level, it has like the other Mario had. What was it, New Super Mario World? They called it. I can't remember the name of that one now.
Odyssey.
Odyssey
No,
was
the
the last
regular
one.
2D Mario, the one that was on the Switch or the Wii.
Uh,
3D World?
Not 3D.
No, it was before that. It was just the regular side scroll Mario. Like it had the
New
collision
Super Mario
detection.
Brothers?
Yeah, it was just the new Super Mario Brothers. I compared a lot to that, and they just did so many little improvements. When you play 2-player, you don't have collision, so you don't run into each other, you don't knock each other off. Now there is one problem right away. This is my biggest gripe about the game. One character will have a little crown over him, and that's what the camera follows. So say if you're on one where there is a little bit of a timing situation, like the screen will move with like the player that has the crown on it. So if you're playing 2-player, you can drag the other person off the screen and kill that person, and they would turn into a ghost. And they can ghost up to you as long as you make contact with them. They reappear,
Yeah.
and they don't lose their power up. Say like they had like a fire mushroom or whatever, fire flower. They still stay that fire version of themselves. Like they didn't lose that. Like you can't cost them that. But if they don't get to you fast enough as a ghost, they can die and have to respawn. So I have had situations where one of us was the leaders and we would pull the other
Slow
one off.
down, Mayo. Slow down.
Well,
When you
there's times you can't. There's actually times where the level moves, and they have
Oh,
these
yeah.
ones that are like super difficult, and they have this difficulty rating on these different levels you can do, and you can do them in any order you want. But there's this one I beat that was like a 4-star out of 5, and what it is, it's like all the blocks are invisible and they all appear to a beat, and you have to get across the level to the beat as the
Yeah.
blocks appear. But you have to get there before the time runs out too, and it was difficult. I bet I probably did it 30 times before I was able to get through it.
I've
Now the
seen
nice
that
thing
one.
is if you miss one jump, you fall down and it goes to a pipe and you just have to start back over. You don't lose a life, so you don't lose any lives on those missions, but there's usually like a big badge reward at the end of that, and it's kind of helpful for other things and stuff like that. And then too, like I had a badge. So this badge system they do, Jesus, has abilities that you can use anytime for your Mario characters. Peach or Mario or Toad or whoever. And you can have like one where like the hat glide is like the first one you get, where you just hold the right trigger and you can pull out your hat and you kind of glide further across off a big jump. They have ones that are I'm trying to think. There's like a dolphin kick one where it lets you swim better, and it's like a burst of speed, but you can burst through rocks and stuff like that too, and unlock stuff. They have some that are like higher difficulty to use. They consider them expert. I've unlocked one of these, and it was hidden in the world, and I was able to find it by beating one of these higher level difficulty maps. It was like a 4-star, and what it was, it's like you're always on springs, like you're always bouncing, like you can't stop bouncing. So like you get this badge, and you can turn it on at any time, but you just are always bouncing. But there's a badge too where you can charge your jump. Like if you push down, you start charging a jump and you can jump extra high. I have a badge that will make blocks that are invisible appear, and it helps you with levels with, like, say there's maybe like a jumping area and you have a hard time. It'll make those appear, and you can add some extra blocks in there to make it a little easier. Or you can have there's a badge that makes you grow big at the beginning of the level. As soon as you go in the level, you just become instantly big. So and you have that. So you can choose how you want to tackle these levels going in, and I mean you kind of get the idea. You get to the water world, you're like, okay, I'm going to use the dolphin kick one a lot, and that's where you earn that badge, and it gives you like a trial. So it tells you about the badge, and it says, okay, this is what you got to do. When you beat the level, you use that new badge, then they give it to you. So it gives you a little bit of practice with it and stuff.
Yeah, I can't wait, man. I really want to play. I really want to play it so bad.
It's I don't know. It seems like it's been a kind of a long game. I've heard some people say it's a little bit shorter than the other ones, but we put some time into it already. I put more time into it than I have Spider-Man.
I bet
And
it
I
has.
won.
I bet it has a lot of replay value too, though.
It does. I can
Like going
tell.
back through
Like
those levels, trying to find all the secrets and stuff. Yeah.
like I said, my son and I were playing together is couch co-op, and then I started another save with just single play by myself, and I've gone through a little slower and then tried to find a few more secrets. There is so many things to find, and there's so many things they just throw in the levels, just the design.
Yeah.
There's like this level where these clouds are floating around, and they basically turn dark. They're white and they turn black, and then they release rain. And you can as they release rain, it's like a waterfall, and you can swim up it, and you can get up on top of them.
Oh yeah.
And so and then they'll quit. You got to swim up fast enough and get to the top before it runs out of rain. Or
Yeah.
there's other ones where you can there's like it's like a moving conveyor belt kind of thing. So when you get on it, you run really fast. But there's ones where it's above you, and you can jump and grab a hold of it from underneath, and it zips you across, and you have to let go at a certain point.
Yeah.
They just there's so much variety. There's like these little things where it's like take a break. You go into this mission, it's just like one big room, and there's 5 hidden coins, and you have to figure out where they are. And that I'm like, oh, this isn't going to be that bad. And I've done a couple of it, and now I'm to one where I was stumped. I'm like, I don't know where this coin's at. Like, I can't figure it out. It's got like 50 different pipes that you can go in and out, and you have to do things in certain sequences to get to certain places and to be able to get the stone, the coin. And like I haven't figured that one out. But there's also pipes as well that will take you in the background, which is kind of cool, or the foreground. You'll find this pipe, and you'll have this, the coins and the flower, or the wonder flower, be in the background, and you can go back there and do that and stuff too. But it's that super super kid friendly game. It's super fun with 2 players. You still have Nabbit who can't die, and you still have I think the Yoshi can't die,
Yeah.
but you
Yoshi
can.
can't die.
And then, but you can ride the Yoshi as well. So somebody
Yeah.
could jump on the Yoshi back, and they can control you through it. There is a perk that you can find this badge too, Ryan, where if you fall in a hole, it bounces you up one time. So I can see that again for younger people, like kids learning to play. Like how like if you can't die as like Nabbit or Yoshi, the only thing that's going to kill you is if you fall off a ledge or something like that. This would
Yeah.
give you like one revive almost kind of thing. It bounces you back up so that you get back on a ledge. So that gives
Yeah.
kids a
Because I
chance to
think
play a little easier.
that's what I'm trying to do is I want to play it with Olivia. So
But yeah, it's
she's
been
getting a lot better at
absolutely
games.
great.
So
But yeah, I put a lot of time in that game already, and like I said, I find myself enjoying that more than I have Spider-Man. And not saying it's a better game, but maybe a better game for me right now at this point. Like
Just
it's really
sound
Yeah.
like,
light.
sound like they're
It's
both
what
fun.
you're
good games,
enjoying
just
at the
deciding
moment.
what to play.
What's that, Gunny?
I was gonna say, sound like they're both great games. It's just deciding what to play.
Yeah, there's just
Yeah.
so much to play right now because I have some other games I picked up too, and it's just like what do I play? What do I have time for? And I keep going back to Mario. And so,
Nice.
but Mario is also that easy game where you can get in and play just 1 or 2 levels. It's
Yeah.
And
kind
then
of
get
hard
out.
to. It's hard to because I'll beat 2 levels and I'm like, all
And
right,
then
I'm
you
just
want
gonna
to keep
beat this.
going.
I'm gonna beat this world real quick, and then things keep happening, and then you're like, an hour later has passed, and you're like, all right, I
Yeah.
guess I'm gonna get off now, and quit playing. But or Spider-Man, it's like you get in there and it's more of a commitment. You start playing Spider-Man and you're swinging through. All of a sudden, you get in this big cutscene and you get in a boss fight, and you're doing this boss fight, and it's you're more locked in. It seems like where Mario, I can get in and out,
Mhm.
anytime I want. I can pause it at any time and just kind of step away from it. But that game has been really fun. I've been really enjoying it, and also it's only at 50. I think it was $50. I think it was 49.99. No,
Nice.
no, I take it back. Maybe it's 59.
No. Yeah, it's full
It's
price up here.
it's $10 cheaper than it was an Xbox, like an Xbox game. So it's 59, right? So,
Yeah.
I paid 75 for Spider-Man after tax, and I paid, I think, 50, 52, I think, for Mario.
Hmm.
So it was nice, a little bit cheaper price, and it's just such a good game, and just been having a great time with
Nice.
it. But just real quick, the other things I've been hitting since I'm just kind of talking real quick. I know Ryan's kind of wanted this game. I ended up getting Alan Wake 2 with my graphics card when I got my new graphics card, and that came out this week. And I haven't really gotten to play with it much, Jesus, but just a little bit of the intro. But I spent so much time like trying to dial in the graphics and getting it to run well. Because this is one of those Remedy games that just is just punishing on your computer, Jesus. It's like
Yeah.
Control was when Control first came out.
Yeah.
That was ahead. It was new to ray tracing, and it was punishing. This game, Jesus, when I was cranking it up, I was getting like 6 frames even with my new 4070 Ti. It was getting like 6 frames when you turn on the what they call it, like the path lighting and all that stuff as well. So you have ray
Yeah.
tracing, and then you have that path lighting they have in there, and then they have like another thing in there too, like some about reflections or something like that. But with both of those on and the game running at 1440, it just brought my system to a crawl. Like it was just a slideshow. But this game
Damn.
is by far the best looking game I've seen so far, like ever in my opinion. Like graphically, like on the PC, it's insane. It looks like a movie so far. Like
Yeah.
even when it has like that little over the shoulder where you're playing the FBI character, it is so crisp and clean and so realistic looking. And there's water puddles around as you're walking through the town, and you can see the like reflections in that and the cars and just it's a little slow. And maybe I never played the first Alan Wake. I know I think you have, Ryan. That's why you're looking forward to this one. I did watch a video recap of like what was going on, so I know what was going on. But like the beginning of the game, you just have this guy that gets murdered, and you're like you start off as that guy. You're like this guy, and you come out of like the water, and you're like this naked guy, and you're going up this side of a hill in the woods, and these people come and grab you, and they tie you up, and they put you on across a picnic table, and they cut your heart out, and then it switches to you being like an FBI agent with this other guy. And when you show up there, and you have to like analyze a scene, so you have to look around and find the clues, and it goes to like this little the main character has like this focus room, so you kind of like hit the select button like on the PlayStation controller or whatever or I guess I'm not like on the Xbox controller, sorry. um it would bring you back to this other room, and it's like a board, and she can see where all she's putting all of her clues, and you have to like when you find the clues it puts in the bottom, and you have to like hang them up on the wall, and then you can look at it, and it's kind of piecing it together. That was kind of slow, so I wished it would pick up, and it might pick up. I'm hoping to play more tonight. I picked it up, I got it installed. It came out in the weekend. And my son had come over, and when he usually comes over, he usually jumps on the PC at night. The last couple of nights. So I just been playing, Mario and Spider Man. So, but hoping to fire that up more this week. But it's looked absolutely amazing so far.
I hear a lot of good things about Alan Wake too. Yeah.
Yeah,
A
it's
lot of the people that are reviewing the game or whatever in terms of performance say that it is literally one of the best if not the best looking game out right now.
I think it is. I was wowed.
And
I
they
did
say
hook this
that
up to my OLED, Jesus. I hooked it up in the living room. I unhooked my whole
yeah,
PC, dragged it in the living room, and played
and
it
hooked
and
it
watched.
up.
And it ran okay on there. Like I ran it at 1440, and once I got the settings kind of tweaked, I was able
Mhm.
to get about 45 to 60 frames. It kind of fluctuated a little bit, but it wasn't, it was playable, So then I
Yeah.
started playing, and it looks great on that OLED. And like I said, it just by far so far what
They
I've seen
say
looks like
it
the best of the
has
game out there.
they say it has ray tracing without even like if you turn off ray tracing, that it still looks like it's ray tracing because of the global illumination in it. And that they say that so far in performance on the consoles, the PlayStation 5 outperforms both the Xbox Series X and the Series S. In terms of performance, the game runs the best and looks the best on the PS5. But the Xbox Series X is just a little bit behind it, with the Series S struggling the most, right? But
Well, yeah.
Obviously.
yeah, they say that though on the PC side, they say even knocking the game down to medium settings, which would be what the PS5 performance mode and quality mode is at. It's at medium and low settings and shit on the PlayStation. That's what it would be on the PC. They say even with that, like a lot of PCs are struggling
Mhm.
to run this game because it's
Yeah,
just
I can see it because, like
so
I said,
demanding.
my i9 and 4070 Ti, I'm running on medium and well, the preset was like medium, but a lot of stuff as you go through the options are triggered and set on high already. So even though you're on
Yeah.
medium as a preset, a lot of it's on high, and then it just turns a couple things off. It backs back the ray tracing a little bit and does something else a little bit. And so enables it to get a better frame rate. But it looks amazing.
I'm excited to play it, but to be honest, man, I think this is a game that I'm gonna wait for it to go on sale in a few weeks
Mhm.
because it's gonna be on sale by the time
Well,
Thanksgiving
there's
comes
there's so
around.
much you can play right now. You can play Spider-Man right now,
Yeah,
and I like me, I could play Mario and Spider-Man where I didn't really plan on even picking this game up, but since it came with my graphics card, I'm like, well, I'm gonna go ahead and
uh,
get this installed.
yeah,
And it's just like getting that installed. I wanted to check it out because once I started seeing some video on it, I'm like, oh,
mm,
this actually looks really interesting and really really cool. Because that story actually kind of grabbed me, like watching the the catch up, what happened the first game. I was like,
yeah.
"Oh, this actually sounds really good. I kinda wanna play this." And then I started running on this little rabbit trail about, like, how Remedy takes like, they're trying to create like a cohesive world. So, like, some of the stuff in Control
It's in this
Yep.
is
game, yeah.
yeah, is mixed. So it's like there's
This
references
game
both ways.
actually is in the Control universe.
Yeah,
Yep.
so, like, it's kind of
No,
interesting how it
Control was in the Alan Wake universe.
or something like that, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all connected.
And there's a
It's a
DLC that's Alan
universe.
Wake for Control, isn't there?
I think so.
I think there
Control was
was.
my game of the year.
Yeah,
They're
mine as
saying
well.
that they're saying the janitor guy from Control is in this
Oh, okay,
game.
I remember him.
You
I
run
I
into him.
remember him. Yep.
Yeah,
He's in this game.
it looks like it's gonna be really good, and this is one of those games that's like I said earlier, like there's all these games coming out that are hard to like get time in with right now. I've been playing a little bit of Forza Motorsport. I've been enjoying that. Like I once I figured out how to get I took off automatic mode and then turned up the difficulty and then turned off the assist, and the game became so much more fun. Like, I was
Yeah,
kinda bored with it, like, just like, "Oh, I'm driving," Once you turn all that stuff
make
off
it harder for yourself. You actually enjoy
and you
more.
actually gotta focus on the corners. Yeah, I mean, you gotta really focus on the corners, like, you come in the
That's
corners and you gotta
that's the
watch what
great
gear
thing
you're
about it
in.
though. It's like you can tune the game to be how you want it to play how
And
you want it to play,
yeah,
you know?
and you can make such a difference, like, when you put the game in manual and when you turn those assists off, I was shaving so much time off of my laps,
Oh
like, I'm
yeah.
like and then I just started feeling better about myself, and then what's cool about it, and what I did like what they add is how they will take a section of that racetrack, it's like a series of curves, and it will grade you on it. So when I come into it, like they say, kinda like in their tech thing when they're talking about it, like, they wanted to make it like like a process where you can go into this section of curves that has like a name. It'll have like a set name, it'll be like the hairpin or the dishwasher or something stupid like that,
Yeah.
And you, as you go through it, it'll give you a rating and it'll give you a segment score.
It
So
tells
like,
you if you've done better going around that
yeah, so
corner,
I'm
this
like, I'm trying to
lap,
get
and
like, I know I got an achievement for getting like a 9.5 on a segment score out of 10. I'm
yeah,
like, oh sweet, I was really, did really well there. And so like, and the next thing you know, like when I had it in automatic when I was just playing to it, I was getting like 1 to 3 range, going through those corners. But now with everything turned off, it's like 8.5, 9.5, like higher scores, like more speed. You can keep your RPMs higher, you can downshift it and keep your car like kind of in the power as you're coming out of the corner. Like you may still have I have the assist line still on, and it could be like red, and I can downshift and keep it in the power and get it blue again. But as soon as you hit the throttle, the car's going again, and it keeps in the power. And I've been enjoying that, but it's like hard to get into it because I have Spider-Man and Mario and Alan Wake now, and I'm
Yeah.
and even then, like I downloaded Skylines 2 the other day on the PC, and I haven't touched it yet, because
Leave that one for
Yeah.
me, Mayo. Leave that one for
yeah.
me. I'll
But
play that one.
I did notice so I got a new entertainment center this week, and one of those ones that had like the fireplace and all that built in,
Yeah.
and it has closed cabinet doors in the front. So my consoles are now still kind of inside. I was worried about heat, like things getting warm in there. And when I was playing Forza on the Xbox Series X, that sucker was really hot. Like I could hear the fans running big time. Like when I shut it down, they were still running for a while. I'm like, oh my gosh, this thing's like really humming, and it was really warm. So the next time I played it, I brought it all the way out of the case and I sat it on the floor because I had the cords that are long enough they're kind of passing through the back, but I can set it on the floor. And that thing, even still, my Xbox Series X was really hot playing Forza Motorsport. I don't know if it's again
it
it's just
gets
that
hot.
demanding, but that sucker was like warm. I'm like, holy
Hmm.
cow, this thing is hot.
Yeah,
So
it's normal. It gets pretty hot.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I have it's the first time I've noticed it or anything, but I haven't had it that long.
I was gonna
I,
say, did you just get that?
yeah, I
I
just got
thought
it
you
like
had the
2 weeks
Series
ago.
S. Yeah.
Yeah, I got it 2 weeks ago. I had the old 1X is what I had before that.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so,
yeah.
I just gave that to my daughter and,
Did you put more vape juice in the vapor chamber?
no, not yet. I need to
I did that
That's
this
what it
morning when I was
is.
pour some of that
cleaning.
down in the top down there.
Yeah, you just put the vape juice in the vapor chamber.
But, and that besides
You'll
that,
be
the
a
only thing I can mention real quick is just Assassin's Creed. I picked up the Ubisoft Plus thing, and I dropped it altogether. Like
Me too,
it's an
man. Me
okay
too.
game, but there's just too much out. Like that game is gonna just get lost in the wayside because
Nah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and I canceled my Ubisoft Plus subscription because I got it because I was going to try this game and to see if it grabbed me. And it's an okay game. I'm not.
I
It
thought
looks
about it the
good.
other day too, because I saw that. Oh yeah, Ubisoft Plus is on Xbox now,
Yeah.
and then I got to the sign up thing, and I was like, "What am I doing?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
what am I
You'll probably
doing?"
Yeah.
forget. That's what
There's
I
just so
do.
much
I'll
to play
forget and
right
it'll
now.
charge me
Yeah.
$30.
Yeah, that's
But
what I'm gonna do. You just reminded me, man. I'm gonna have to check my subscription today because I know I signed up for it last month. I don't know if I canceled it
yeah.
already
So
or not.
I canceled mine already. Mine expires it expires on like the 15th of November. So you might have a week or two yet.
Yeah,
'Cause you probably got about the same time I did when
I
Assassin's Creed
did.
came out.
Yeah,
Yeah. So you probably have about a week or two left. But I would get on there and
my
cancel now because they just won't renew.
yeah, that game, man, Assassin's Creed Mirage, it just didn't catch me.
Uh,
I
yeah.
tried put time into it. I tried to play it, and I thought to myself, you know what, man? If I really want to play an Assassin's Creed game that's old, I'll just go play one that I haven't played yet,
Yeah,
like
I mean,
Assassin's
it's
Creed
really
3 or
polished
whatever.
and it feels good, but just, it reminds me I've been there, done that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I'm
that
with
that
you
is
on that.
it for me. That's pretty much all I've been playing. Like I said, I've been all over the place this week trying to get different games in because there's so much to play right now. But I keep going back to Mario. Mario seems to be the one that keeps grabbing me, and like I said, it's so lighthearted and fun, and just times I've just laughed like like what the hell, like in wonder, like literally like from the wonder seed, like what's going on, like you just don't know what's going to happen every time it happens. You're just like, what's it going to do this time? And they've kept
Yeah,
it very unique. And there's a lot of levels, and every level has like a wonder seed in it. So I've done a lot of them already, and they've done something creative every single time.
That's
Yeah,
cool,
So
man.
I'll say this
I'm looking
about
forward to it.
not having a Switch anymore for a few years now. And just like Ryan said, when I watched that preview from IGN, I was like, wow, like they really went with like old school with new mechanics, and it
Yeah.
looks awesome. Yeah, it looks amazing.
Nintendo knows what the fuck they're doing. They know what the fuck they're doing, man. Those guys, they don't fuck around, dude. You know, and this game's probably gonna be one of the Game of the Year contenders. To be
Yeah, I think
honest,
it would. I don't know if it'll. It's such a crowded market, you know. I mean, I
I
still think
know
for
it's
me, I don't own it yet, but like Baldur's Gate 3, I still
Yeah,
feel like
yeah.
is
there's
pretty
another
much
one.
one of the top runners up there. And then I feel like maybe Spider-Man's gonna be up there, you know, because it's Spider-Man, you know, that Spider-Man juice, that Sony juice over there. And
Yeah.
then, you know, then I think Mario's right there. But then you got Mario competing against Zelda of
And
all
then you got
things.
Alan Wake. Alan
And then you
Wake that
got
just
Alan Wake.
dropped.
Yeah, I don't think Alan Wake's gonna get Game of the Year, but it's gonna get up
You
there.
don't
It's
think
gonna get
so?
some, definitely get some nominations, you know,
It
and get
definitely
some
will.
awards. It might get some like,
And you have Starfield.
yeah. I was just
yeah.
gonna
Then you
say,
got
don't sleep
Starfield
on
out there. Like,
Starfield because I
Yeah.
like as much as I maybe didn't that game didn't catch me as much. It's still got a big
oh,
following.
definitely,
There's
it was one
still
of the fastest or best-selling games last
yeah,
month, right?
yeah,
So. And then, of course, we talked on the show before. You still got Hogwarts back there. And you still
yeah.
got
Yeah.
Don't forget
you
about
got
that.
you got
Yeah.
that Star Wars Jedi Survivor back there.
Mhm.
There's some other games back there in the year that we've been blessed
It's
with.
been
And
a
it's been a
year.
big crazy year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a
Yeah,
year.
a lot of games coming out this year. But Gunny, let's talk about City Skylines 2 real quick. I know that I've played it. I know you've played it. And I know we've both been enjoying it.
That's
Really,
only on PC, right?
yeah.
Yeah, for now.
The
For now.
console got delayed till next year, I think. They were supposed to
Yeah.
launch day and day, and then they delayed the console a month, and then they just came out recently and delayed it again till next year. I'm assuming performance issues on the consoles is the
Yeah,
reason
it
they.
was. They
It's
said it
having
was the
performance
S.
issues on PC, from what I've
Oh, it
heard.
Well,
is.
yeah, that too.
It was like
I
dropping
mean,
to like 6 frames per second.
for me, the performance has been okay. I've been able to get it to run like at 50 FPS. Um, that's with a lot of settings knocked down. Now I can knock them down even more and probably get 60 easily, but I haven't. I've been playing mostly on medium settings. Despite that, the game still looks better than City Skyline 1.
The first one,
Even
yeah.
with the settings and medium that I have, the game still looks way better than the first one.
Yeah.
Um, with that being said, though, I'm liking the game, but there's something about it that's like missing for me from the first one. And I don't know if the first one I had gotten so used to the way the game played, the gameplay and the mechanics of it that this one's throwing me off. Because this one they've added a bunch of new stuff, Gunny. They've added like power management now and all that shit that like it's really it's a lot tougher than it was before. Because now you gotta manage your power grid, and if your power grid overloads, then you have to like set up other substations and power transformer stations and shit around your city. And like now there's car accidents that can happen, and the car accidents create traffic jams and all this shit that happens. Um, a lot of stuff is going on. There's a lot of moving parts to your city now. And I don't know about you, Gunny, but I want to see patches come out for this game because sometimes it feels like it's not balanced or the game is not working correctly. Because I'll get a lot of demand for housing,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
I know what you're talking about.
I'll build a lot of housing, and then all of a sudden it'll be like demands up at 100% again. I'm like, how is it at 100% if I just literally zoned this entire area for housing? How is it back to 100?
I think
Like
it has to do with the people don't like where the housing is.
maybe I don't know, man. But then
It's
like
weird, right? They did that in City Skylines 1.
they
And
did,
I don't
but
know enough about City Skylines 2. I haven't played as much as you have. But yeah, so I'm going to go by watching streamers because I haven't played enough of it, Jesus. But they
yeah.
were addressing the same thing you were talking about, where it's like, what the hell? Like, I'm putting in like
All this
industry
zoning.
or office commercial and it's not fucking working.
Yeah, and sometimes like some of the housing, like some of it'll be like the people that live here can't afford to pay the rent. The rent is too expensive in this
Yes.
area.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I'll fix this by building low income housing on this other side of the city, but the motherfuckers won't move there. They want to
Right.
live in that area, but they
Yep.
cannot afford. It's like, bro, if you cannot afford to live there, then you should move to the poor side of town and let the rich people live in that part of town. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, it's
So
like
when
they
you
want me to make the rich part of town the poor part of town. It's what what they want me to
Yeah.
do, Gunny.
I know. So what is that button that you use where you look at like uh what's it called? It's in the I know it's changed in City Skylines too, but where you look at like the population and traffic and stuff like
Yeah,
that. And there should be a thing in there where it shows like the value of land,
yeah.
and like the greener it is, the more expensive it is, and that'll kind of show you because that'll shift, that'll change, like where
Oh yeah,
the darker green will be the more expensive, or the boardwalk or area where there's water or
yeah.
something,
But
but
I
not
do
near
like the fact
industry.
I do like the fact now that they have like new types of residences as well, like a zoning where you can build apartments that have like stores on the bottom floor. So it's like a mix of resident and commercial in the same area. So
Yeah.
it's not just all residents there. It's like there's apartments there, of course, people live there, but on the bottom floors of these buildings, there's like stores in them. So like that's kind of a cool concept they've added to the game. Um, they've added a lot of cool stuff to it, but at the same time, I feel like the AI is not fully fleshed out. Like it's
No, it's
buggy
not.
or it's not working. I
It's
think
not
they need to get in
balanced at
there and
all.
patch it. Yeah, they need to get in there and patch it and figure it out because it's not working for me, man. I'm so today I started a new city. I'm gonna try to work on it and see like how balanced I can keep it. Um, but yeah, one of the things that I ran into that was a problem for me too was my money, right? I had like $10 million, dude. I had all this extra money, and all of a sudden I started losing all of my money. I was going into the negative. I'm like, how the fuck is that happening, dude? I don't know. Like, so I have to understand the economy and what's happening there, what's going on. Why am I losing all this money? So I don't know. I like the game. I love the way it looks. I love the aesthetics of it. The game looks really good, dude. Even when you zoom in all the way on in the city and the characters that they're walking around, the people driving, it looks really good. But I want to see more. So far, it's a great game though. It's a good Game Pass game. You know, if you want to pass the time, it's a for me, it's a fun game. I love that game. I'm enjoying
Yeah.
it, but
Yeah, keep
I
in
want to
mind
see
now,
patches.
Jesus, you're on that 3070, 3080, and I'm running this on a 1070, and I didn't even put this on an SSD. I just put it on an external drive. And I'm pretty sure I was supposed to put it on SSD, but it's
Yeah,
running okay. Like when I first installed it, it was like so slow. I was like, I can't even look. I mean, it was a slideshow. So I was like, and that's normally how it goes when I'm running on
yeah,
a 1070 Ti with a i7 freaking whatever. So then the best way is to quit out whatever, restart the
yeah.
game. And then I played it the next day and it was like, okay, it's actually running good. I lowered some of the settings, put a lot of shit on medium. It doesn't look as
Nice.
good, as it would be on high or ultra,
Yeah,
but it was definitely like playable. But for some
yeah.
reason, Mayo, it didn't
Hmm.
show like the frames. I don't know what it was. Where most of my
Weird.
games will, I have it set up to where it will show frames on every game, but this one doesn't show me. I
I
don't
don't
know,
know
but
why.
What was you playing on?
so this is on the PC. Maybe it could be because it was on Xbox PC Game Pass.
You're
No,
playing
Oh,
on
but
Gunny.
you can open the game bar, can't
Yeah,
you?
yeah. You got to open the game bar, which is hit the Windows key, hold it
Yeah.
down, and hit G on your keyboard. It'll pull up the Windows bar, and there's like this little performance tab, and there's that you can like
Yeah.
move it around, and you can
Oh
pin
yeah,
it
yeah.
to
I haven't
wherever
done
you
that in a
want on
while.
your thing, and then you hit Windows G again. You can close the game bar, and it'll leave the frame rate counter up there.
That's
'Cause
it.
you're
Okay, I
probably
haven't
Gunny,
had
you're
to do
probably
that.
thinking about Steam because you probably have it set up on Steam that your
Yeah,
Yeah,
I do
Steam
have
your
it
has it
set up
built
on
FPS always
in.
Steam that
shows
way.
up, right?
Yep.
That's probably what you're thinking. So that's the way you do it on the Xbox Game Bar.
Okay, because every PC Game Pass, like for some reason doesn't. But yeah, I haven't had to do that in a long time. But
I ran
Yeah.
into that fight with Alan Wake 2 actually because when I got that game, they give you a product key for Epic, and so there was no frame rate counter. So I tried to get what I could, and I had to use the game bar to bring up the frame rate for Alan Wake 2 as well.
okay.
So,
All right.
Nice.
What else, Scotty?
What else for me? Not much for me. I've just been, like, uh, I haven't gotten Alan Wake 2. I really want that game. Just right now, it's just been real life broken cars, buying new cars. So it's a little tight with funds buying some of the latest and the greatest games. So thank God for Game Pass, guys, because I just continue to play Starfield. Now,
Yeah. Me too.
Ryan, I'll let you get to that. What you were talking about earlier before the show, but for me, it's been where I'm talking about suggestions with without the community, with you guys, with and Ghost Nico, and just like, what do I do next, and how do I get a ship, and all these things, and there's always the suggestions, great suggestions from you guys, and then it's just like, what, I'm just gonna do what I want, like it just ends up being that way. So
That game, that's the best way to play that game.
I think so.
Do what you want.
And that's how I played it.
Make it
and
your
I
own
just
narrative,
love
your
it.
own story.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what, like, people will tell you, "Oh, go get this, go get that." It'll help you in the game, but it doesn't matter. You can go to the end of the game with like shit weapons and still make it through.
Yeah. And that's how I'm just playing on the normal regular, and
Just trust me,
Even-
that's what I did today.
and even 2 weeks ago, guys, when we last recorded the show, I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna do the campaign and do a new game plus, and do what everybody said. I always say that, and then it's like I ended up where I said, oh, there's this mission, and I already knew about it too from the previews and just really following this game for the last couple of years, where it was like, oh, you can get a job, right? So I think I was in somewhere in Jemison, or it wasn't Jemison. I forgot the name of the star system I was in, but basically it's a office job. It's called executive level, and it was like, I was like, okay, this is probably going to be stupid, but I did see the video where you'll get like a stealth spacesuit or something, and you look pretty cool. Jesus, I'll send you a screenshot of it. It reminds me of one of the characters from The Boys, the guy that always wears the suit with the helmet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, you look like a fucking badass. And so I'm like, all right, that's cool. I can always use that suit for, like, if I want to go into stealth and steal shit or whatever eventually. But it starts off, guys. I gotta explain this mission. So you go in, it's like, like, oh, go get this person some coffee or whatever because you started this job. And I'm like, okay, this is gonna be dumb, right? This is gonna be like a boring mission or something, or not as long or whatever. But it really opens up, like, with dialogue and corporate espionage and stealth missions, and where go kill them all, basically, and even the ones where they're just like, we don't want a big body count, okay, so just go to the other company and plant this evidence and try not to kill everybody, we'd really appreciate it. And then, but you can go in and just kill all the guards or whatever. There's no real penalty for it, which was like, yes, this is what
They might get a little mad at you about it.
yeah, right. They're going to get a little mad, but I feel like maybe I felt as though the outcome didn't change.
Yeah.
So it was just more of the dialogue, right? That story of like, hey, we told you not to do it or whatever, but your response could be, well, I got the job done, Keep crying about it. Whatever, I got the job done. And then it's just continuation of, all right, well, you did. All right, good for you. So yeah, that was cool. I actually finished that today. It took me I felt like it was like 6 hours long, so maybe longer. Yeah, but that was cool. Like going to different, not too far distant planets or whatever, but visiting different areas I'd never been to, getting some new weapons and getting a lot of credits. So yeah, that's just been a blast. I've been enjoying that. But now, right now, I actually am back to like the main story. So finally got my new apartment. I think that is New Atlantis, right?
Yeah.
And I was on the show with you guys like pre-recording, and I'm like, "Yay! I bought my new apartment for 30,000 credits, and it's freaking empty fucking hallways or whatever." I'm like, so yeah, it's like, yeah, not the greatest looking place. So now I got to decorate.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I did, hey, threw a bed in there. I got a toilet, and I got a chair and a desk, and that's all I need, guys. So
Yeah, fuck yeah.
but yeah, so that's and oh, if I didn't mention the last time when I talked about just kind of going crazy a couple weeks ago about what was I doing? Was it the main story mission, or it might have been the main story mission where I went after the Varoon when I had to go visit those guys as part of that mission for diplomacy, and I just wasted everybody in there, and that's when Andrija and what's her name like just left the ship. They were so angry, and I was like,
Andrija's my like girl. She's my
yeah,
girl.
she's been following me for a long
I
time, and so
have her with me all the time.
yeah, she's always there. So then she left, and Sarah was it? So they left, and I had another person as well. So when I came back to the ship, I was like, "Where everybody that you all left? You're all so pissed off at me." But so what I found out was I didn't really research it too much, but I went on for several more hours and several more missions, and eventually they all showed back up again. So, and then Andrija's just following me now, even after it failed when I talked to her about me trying to apologize about my murderous actions or what have you. Uh, yeah, I think she just kind of got over it. But there's no more. What I did find out, there's no more like flirting or whatever. I don't know. She's just following me, right? She's just there. She's like, I'll just be here because we're friends or whatever. So yeah, there's no option anymore for extra dialogue, which I'm like, that's cool, man. You're here because you love me, right? So that's why you're here. So it's been cool. She's been my road dog, my
Yeah.
partner. And yeah, I think I took somebody else and then Sarah. I've just been trading off, and yeah, that's been fun. That's been it for me on the star field. So just been playing that every moment I can. Real quick, was in the Discord call with Ghost Nico yesterday, and we were talking games and all the new games coming out and new updates for different things like our favorite game, Satisfactory, right? So Coffee Stains is always coming out with new updates, and so I was like, yeah, man, I'm not really feeling games this past week and doing car shopping and just I've been out of it. And of course, I ended up playing that for 3 hours yesterday, and just like sucked back in. It's like yeah, I can do this. This is great. But even though, guys, that the new update for I think we're playing the experimental version, so that has no mods. It even tells you in the Satisfactory app that we have that yeah, no mods work. So, but like I said, one of the new updates they've done, not this recent, but they've done it in the recent past, where you can just fly around. You're not impervious. It's not a god mode, but that option's there as well. So I chose to not unlock everything, especially for like, new purchases for new items. So, but I did choose the flying mod because it's like 1,000 times easier to build things, right? When you're kind of looking down from them from an angle. And that's something that me and Ghost Nico always do. So, yeah, and it's great. So it's always a goal to work forward to, I want to be able to, eventually unlock things rather than just get everything instantly because that will I'll get too bored too quick. So that's my carrot on the stick for that game. I'm just gonna make resources or build things and yeah, just kind of go take it slow on that. And yeah, but I was able to pull myself away from that and not do that one this morning. And Yeah, so trying to play different things. Another game, guys, I don't think I've ever mentioned this on the show, but there's a game called Choo Choo Charles. You guys have probably seen me play that on
Choo Choo
Steam.
Charles. What?
Yeah.
What?
It's a crazy game. It actually comes out to
Yeah.
Xbox, PlayStation, I think.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I think November. I don't think
cool.
it's going to be a Game Pass game, but it's a weird game. Damn, I can't remember the name of the game that
It's
it
like
actually reminds me of.
fucking insane murdering fucking Thomas the Train chasing
Yes,
you.
that's exactly what it is. And I don't even know the objective of this game. I've just been running around.
Just gotta
And-
beat Choo Choo Charles.
And so I've been, and of course you have your own train. And it's weird, right? Where I think you will get a weapon of some sorts, whether it's a pistol or rifle, and it doesn't have a lot of ammo in it, but on your own little train, you will have a turret gun on the back of it. So you can either, target enemies, but then you're also supposed to target Charles because he will just pop up periodically. And if you don't kill him, it's kind of end game, right? Like you don't restart the game, but you'll go from the last save or what have you. So, and I think there will be I think music plays to let you know. Charles is, you'll see him too. Like he may be on a different track and it's dark, it's gritty. But yeah, there's different missions to complete in the game. And I still have yet, guys, to actually go on YouTube to say, how do I actually play this game? What's my objective? Because it doesn't exactly tell you exactly what to do. So I think that's the mystery of it and why I like this game. I just need to get into it more to explain it better. Yeah, it's a cool game. I think it came out like a year.
You think eventually there'll be a Choo Choo Charles movie?
Damn, could there be a movie on it?
I
Maybe,
don't know.
sure, it could be
Maybe.
animated. I think they make it.
Hey
animated.
man, there's a Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Five Nights at
That's on
Freddy's is
Peacock right now.
fucking huge, dude.
Dude, that came out on Android, guys. I remember playing that on a tablet when my son
That's the
was
thing.
a
All
young
the
kid.
kids that played it when it came out are all growing up now, so now they're gonna go see the movie.
I watched
Yeah,
it.
it's on
It's a pretty good
Peacock
movie.
right now.
It's a pretty good movie. I liked it.
Was it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like mind blowing good, but it's a decent movie.
I
It's
wouldn't
not like-
expect it to be. I don't think.
Yeah.
It's a decent horror movie. It's like a
I'll never
Yeah.
want to go to Chuck E. Cheese again, man. But that's all I've been playing. What about you, Ryan?
Yeah. I finished Starfield. The main plot, anyways.
Is it worth it?
I can't really. I don't want to talk about it too much because it's like I don't want to spoil anything for anybody, but it's all right. It's all right. It gives you a choice at the end, and you make a choice, and that choice will either take you to one place or another. So, and then you can continue on from whichever place you choose to go to. Yeah, I don't know. It was all right. I mean, everybody's playing it now, so it's not really much to talk about, you know. You guys all talked about it already, so. Other than that, I've been playing a game. I finished Wall World and its DLC, and I fucking love the hell out of that game. I know it's not for everybody, but I really had a lot of fun trying to figure out exactly how to finish that game. Because
now, Wall World is that on Xbox or Steam?
No, it's on Steam. It's weird. Like you're this little spider crawling up the wall, but you're, and then you go into these little holes in the wall, and you dig out resources and bring them back to your spider and upgrade your spider and yourself and your digging tools and stuff like that. And eventually, you start finding these little green. What the hell are they called? Little elements, I think they're called, and you gotta collect 5 of those in order to defeat the last boss, because you can get to the last boss, but if you get to him without all the little green things, this laser comes out and fucking one-shots you and kills you every single time. So you got to get all those green things in order to get this tech and to destroy the laser so it can't kill you, and then you can defeat the boss. And it was like, for the first time I got to it, I was like, yeah, I made it all the way to this boss. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm so excited. And then it just laser kills me, and I was like, what? Because when you die, there's no checkpoints. You start over again.
Oh no.
And you might not get, say you've gotten all these cool upgrades on your way up that, you know, the next time you play, you might not get those upgrades because it's random, right?
Right. It's
Right.
true roguelike in that aspect.
Yeah. But when everything syncs together, and like now I can beat the whole thing no problem. Doesn't even matter what I get. I know the patterns, I know how to play it, I know how to get through it, right? So I can make it all the way to the end most of the time. And then the DLC came out, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna check out this DLC. And this was before I had finished the main game. And I click on DLC, and it's like, no. It's like, you definitely want to finish this game before you try and play this DLC. And I was like, oh, son of a bitch. But that motivated me to actually try and finish it. And I finally got to the end of it and killed the guy, and the whole end credits played, and I was like, all right, now sweet, I'm gonna go into the DLC. And the DLC is just like the same thing again, except you can't go down, you can only go up. And it's a little bit shorter, but there's these new like spiders that come, like other spiders that come out and fight you, and you have to kind of learn their patterns and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I know it's not a new game, and it's not like some fantastic graphics, oh my god, blow you away. But I had a lot of fun with it. And then I started playing Dome Keeper, which is very similar. It's just you're in a dome instead of crawling up a wall with a spider. And it's basically you have to protect the dome, and then when you're not in a wave of enemies coming, you have to go down into the mine and mine everything out. So they're both very similar games. Yeah, I'm basically picking up resources, bringing them back to your ship back up to your dome. Then you upgrade your dome, and your dome is better each time another wave comes. Because you only have so much time to go in before a wave comes, right? And you want to collect as many resources.
I would like this game.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
a
you
lot of
played
fun.
that, Jesus. I thought you played it. Maybe it was a different game.
No, I played the one he's talking about. I played the other one, the Dome Keeper.
You played Dome Keeper, right?
Now he's talking about that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about now, but yeah, Wall World's the other one. It's very similar, except you're going up the side of a wall in a spider. Like similar gameplay sort of thing, fun. Right? You have to come back every time for a wave, and you know, you'll be in the middle of digging out a place, and then all of a sudden you hear meep. You're like, oh fuck, I gotta run back to the ship, there's a wave coming. And like you can get turrets that will like automatically fight for you and stuff like that, but you have to be lucky enough to actually find that as you're going through collecting all the resources and stuff. So it's really cool, man. Those have pretty much been like my jam lately, those two games. I thought I was talking to a friend of mine about Wall World, and I was like, yeah, I think I put about 60 hours into it. I checked. Last time I checked, it was 90 something hours I'd put into that game. Wow. So like I played a lot of that. I really enjoyed it.
You were into that shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm trying to think. I picked up the Twilight Zone table on Pinball Effects. That was pretty good. I also picked up the South Park tables because I haven't played those since Pinball Effects 2. And they're pretty good. The redo of those were pretty fun. I know you played a little bit too, Gunny.
Yes. Yeah.
And other than that,
I think that second table, it was the second table I played that it's always out of the set, that it's always like the second or third one that I really enjoy.
Yeah. Butters?
Yes, Butters. Yeah, that was a good table.
Butters. That's me. Yeah. Those tables are fun. But other than that, that's pretty much it for me. I played a little bit of Forza And I know Mayo already talked about that. I don't really have much else to say other than what Mayo had said. I mean, it's fun. It's a good game. I like the fact that you can kind of make it, you can play it however you want to play it. If you want that skill level to be high and you want to play a racing sim, you can. If you want it to just be kind of fun, you can drop it down a little bit and put some assists on.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want it to be somewhere in the middle, you can do that too. You know, I can throw all the assists on and hand Olivia the controller and tell her just hold the trigger down and it'll fucking just drive the whole track. Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's pretty good. Unless she knocks it off the track, it'll pretty much just drive. So, yeah. And other than that, that's it for me. That's all I've been playing, guys.
Nice. Well, it's
Yeah.
news time. All right. Let's get into some news. Gentlemen, some stuff has happened.
Yep.
Okay. What the hell's this? What is this, Gunny? What kind of articles are you giving me?
Crazy ones. That's the Mayo giving you those ones.
I don't know about the first one.
The first
about the
one's
first one?
really hardcore. Okay, well, I'm gonna skip this first one. Let's move on to the second one here. Microsoft news today. This has been kind of big news today with the Xbox. Apparently, Microsoft is moving forward with banning unauthorized third-party Xbox controllers and accessories. That's right.
Yeah, I heard about this.
Yeah. Apparently, a gamer posted this to Reset Era after they plugged in an Xbox compatible controller, and they received a notification on their console saying there was an error code. From the moment you connect an unauthorized accessory and receive error code, blah blah blah. It says here you'll have 2 weeks to use this accessory, after which time it will then be blocked from use with the console. Says here, Microsoft says they're moving forward with the ban against these third-party unauthorized whatever devices that are on consoles.
Oh, okay. So it's an unauthorized device. It's like plugging in like a
like a keyboard and mouse, or one of those.
Yeah. Okay. I was thinking it was. I didn't read the whole article, but I was thinking they were talking about like third-party controllers and stuff. Like you won't be able to use them anymore. I was like, that's fucking weird. Like, why would they do that?
That's like a
But
Sony
that's
move,
not-
in all honesty.
Yeah.
Or Nintendo.
True.
So, see here, a different article. This was from Windows Central. So, from November 12th, 2023 forward, Microsoft will no longer allow unauthorized third-party accessories to be used with their Xbox consoles. Says here, Microsoft spokesperson has responded to the questions for comments on this new policy. And they said Microsoft and other licensed Xbox hardware partner accessories are designed and manufactured with quality standards for performance, security, and safety. Unauthorized accessories can compromise the gaming experience on Xbox consoles, and players may receive a pop-up warning that their accessory is unauthorized. Eventually, this unauthorized accessory will be blocked from use to preserve the console gaming experience. There's still no official word or reports yet on whether the XIM or Cronus controller spoofing mouse and keyboard adapters will be banned as a result of these policy changes. But manufacturers like Brook Gaming, who build unlicensed but fair adapters for fighting game sticks, seem to be caught in this whole dragnet.
Yeah. Okay.
So people that use fighting sticks for like fighting games like Street Fighter, etc., those things are not going to work anymore.
No turbo mode.
Yeah, no turbo mode.
Interesting.
Right. That was a thing that came up a couple of years ago
Yeah.
for Xbox.
So it says here, Brook Gaming released a thing that said, "Dear gamers, we extend our heartfelt appreciation for your unwavering support and interest in Brook. We find it necessary to share this crucial information with you regarding our Xbox console-related products, which may encounter functional disruptions in the near future. Recently, we have received player feedback concerning these products when used on Xbox consoles with the latest OS. During online gameplay, an error message may appear. A connected accessory is not authorized. We deeply regret any inconvenience this may cause to you. And the Brook engineering team is fully committed to developing a solution to maintain product quality and functionality. The products that they sell that are being affected by this are the Wingman XB2 converter and the XB fighting board. So there's that. Uh, who knows how many other devices are being affected by this, but Microsoft said they don't care. They're moving forward with this patch. And that's what they're going to do. They're going to do it, Mayo. They don't give a fuck. They don't care anymore. They don't care. They're doing it, Mayo. Sorry.
Yep.
You want to...
Full steam ahead, right?
Yeah, fuck you. You want to use a fighting stick? Use the Xbox fighting stick.
Fucking
My
right.
son got one like a couple of years ago from his brother for Christmas. He wanted one really bad, and he got one of those big, like basically like it's like a 2-player Capcom fighting stick. The thing was huge and it was expensive. I want to say it was like $200 or something like that.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
It was for the PC, and he never really used it. Like he just never really utilized it. I don't know if he still has it. In all honesty, I'll have to ask him because I could try that with Mortal Kombat once for a minute. Put it in the PC and get Mortal Kombat and try it once maybe. Might be interesting. But yeah, he has this big one. It's a big old bulky, you know, unit. It needs to sit on a table or something like that. It has to be on a desk.
Damn. In other news, on October 26th, the finals open beta went live, and within 2 days of debuting, the game has now reached the maximum capacity on Steam Mail.
Uh-oh.
The open beta was released for the PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and the PC. The finals is serving the most popular FPS game right now, with a peak of 229,992 concurrent players. The finals is a first-player shooting game developed by Embark Studios. It's the 6th most played Valve game, and the stunning visuals of characters and ravishing environments are suspected to be an element adding the waves in open beta. So, some records that we have here. According to them, they've hit a ceiling with their capacity. They cannot add any more players to the beta. So there's that. So good luck. If you wanted to play it, if you're in, you're good. If you're not in, well, you're not gonna get in.
Yeah, I've got a few friends playing right now. They got in. They got their codes.
You're not in, Gunny. You're out.
I'm not in. I've never even seen gameplay of this game.
If you're not in, you're out.
It actually looks kind of good.
It's too late for you now, Ryan. You're out.
I
did
didn't
not
want
get
to play it.
You're
just said
out.
it
You're
looks
out,
good.
Ryan. You're out. You can't
Good.
join, Ryan. You're not allowed in. You're not in.
Woo!
In other news, wow. Again, wow. Another update for this game. 20 years ago, we heard about this game. Skull and Bones, Mayo. You remember that?
What's this game?
This is Sea of Thieves 2.0. It was they were supposed to come out together like 10 years ago.
Yeah,
Right.
Yep.
As part of its latest earning report for the first half of its fiscal 2023-2024 year, Ubisoft has announced yet another delay for Skull and Bones.
Oh no.
Okay. It is now expected to arrive sometime in the beginning of 2024.
No, it won't.
You know, they keep doing these showcases. I keep seeing these showcases, whether it's, an E3 thing or I don't know, Ubisoft Forward Plus, whatever the hell and they show these things, whether it's on Twitch and broadcasted and to kind of give you that preview from the official site. and then nothing. Then it just kind of fades away, and they go delayed. It's like, wait, what? Are you just kind of showing me like, I don't know, it's silly, but it looks finished to me. It doesn't look great, but it looks done.
Listen,
It's going
Gunny,
down the same route that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is going down.
Yeah. Even
Listen.
worse, right? Because they haven't even shown any Good and Evil 2
Listen.
besides a trailer.
Ubisoft says they're still making it, Gunny. Okay, they're still making it.
Mm-hmm. Sure,
I think
they
they're
are.
just trying to figure out how they can get some paid DLC or paid loot boxes or loot crates or something in there.
It's just
Oh, yeah.
delayed, Mayo.
They have
It's
it.
just delayed. Okay, it's just delayed. They said. Okay, guys, we're still working on it. It's just delayed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they say there's no reason why the delay was made, but there is delayed. They said. In other news, Ubisoft said their current release lineup for next year is as follows. The next game they're going to release this year and next year, beginning this year, I think it's this year, is Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. That is the latest Assassin's Creed game built ground up, Mayo, ground up for VR gameplay. You play as different assassins in the different worlds of Assassin's Creed. So like I think one of them is like in like Italy, like Ezio. Another one is like a pirate assassin.
So what
And
you're
then
telling
another
me is that Ubisoft is trying to go broke.
Hey, listen.
That's what you're telling me?
Their next
They're
game that they
making a
have,
VR game. Oh boy.
they made it already. They're
Because
releasing
everybody
it.
has one.
No, listen, man. Okay, this is a ground up Assassin's Creed VR.
It doesn't matter.
It.
There's nobody that's gonna buy it.
Is it going to be on PlayStation 5
Hey,
exclusive,
listen.
Meta 3? What's going on?
On everything, Gunny. It's going to be on
It's going to be on
PSVR and the Quest.
And the Quest. Or
Oh boy.
what's the Steam one?
The Valve?
Two of the smallest fan bases that you could possibly make a game for. Oh
Gotta make it
boy.
native for something. So I'm thinking,
Yeah.
probably whatever Valve's.
Assassin's
freaking-
Creed Nexus VR is what Ubisoft says. Okay, listen. They're working hard. They're making the big games over there. They're saying, hey, guys, this is the future. We made Assassin's Creed Nexus VR. Just for
We're gonna
Mayo.
lose a bunch of money.
They made it just for Mayo so Mayo can play it because he wanted it.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
I'll have to fire that one up.
Yeah.
I'll
There are
take the
other
rip on it. If
games.
it comes out, maybe I'll fire it up. We'll give it a review.
The other games that they have slated for release pretty soon is Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora.
Is apparently supposed to be amazing.
Okay, that's the next one. They have it. They said that one's full on ahead, full speed ahead. We're gonna release it.
I've heard a lot of good things about that game.
The
We'll
next
see.
one,
But
Based on the movie?
the other three
No, I don't
games
think
is Just Dance 2024 is coming. They
course.
said, and Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown.
Yeah.
And then
Mhm.
Skull and Bones is their last game that they have on the list for coming out next year.
Because it's not going to come out.
Yeah.
Also, they're not okay.
It'll
Listen,
be a mobile game.
listen. Yes, we got mobile games too, Gunny. They listen to you, Gunny. Free to play titles such as Rainbow Six Mobile,
Free to play failures such as
The Division Resurgence,
That I heard of. That one I've heard of.
What
And I've
other
seen gameplay
failures?
of it.
and X Defiant are all coming before March 31st of next year. They said
On
Mhm.
mobile, right? Yeah, I've seen those.
mobile, free to play, mobile, free.
X Defiance
Free to
apparently got
you,
some
Gunny.
love.
Okay, listen.
And
Okay.
people were liking it.
Okay, now they also announced their cost reduction plan, which is a targeted restructuring. They
We're
said.
laying everybody off.
Okay, listen. This is the combination of restructuring Mayo and tight control on recruitments.
We're laying everybody off because we made a stupid VR game that didn't sell, and then a bunch of mobile games that didn't
can't-
make any money.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Can't pay the
'cause they-
lease on the building.
listen.
We make games.
We had to spend a lot of money making that cool Assassin's Creed VR game. We need to lay off some people. So they said in the last year and a half, they laid off more than 1,300 people around the world, and that they're going to continue to do it to restructure the company. Listen, Mel, they're working hard over there on Skull and Bones. They need that Skull and Bones money.
No, this is
We need
exactly
to
why Skull and Bones will never come out, because they're going to lay off the entire Skull and Bones team. That's why it got
Right.
delayed.
Yeah, they already laid off
Or it
half.
doesn't come out, and then Microsoft just buys them, and then they don't want to have a Skull and Bones and a Sea of Thieves.
Wait,
so
wasn't
it
it?
just gets scratched.
No, they can't do that. They
No,
can't
the
do
rumor
that. There's
was-
no way that there's no way that if Microsoft tried to buy Ubisoft, it would. There's
get
no
blocked.
fucking way.
Yeah.
There's
You
no
would
way.
Yeah, I
ban Microsoft from
That
the EU completely.
then everybody screaming about a monopoly. I would be like, okay, yes, this is maybe getting to the monopoly
a
stage
little
now.
out of hand.
Well, and the problem with that is Microsoft already signed a deal with Ubisoft
Yeah.
to
For
take over their
gaming,
streaming
right?
rights.
Yeah.
So that they could get the deal to go through. So I don't think they're gonna buy Ubisoft, because that would just totally fuck that whole
Right.
Listen,
thing up.
Ubisoft, they know what the gamers want. Gamers want an Assassin's Creed VR experience,
Do they?
Yeah, they do.
and that's what they're delivering, okay? They know what we want.
I guess we'll find out when it comes out. We'll see. Just like when PSVR 2 came out and I said, this is a fucking mistake, Sony.
Hey,
You should not be releasing this fucking headset at this point in time. And guess what? I don't hear anybody talking about PSVR 2 ever.
PSVR 2, whatever came out, it's out.
Yeah, right?
I've seen one in the store actually.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen them in
I
the
think-
store.
I
Have
think
you
I've
ever
seen
seen
one of them,
have you
but-
ever seen them on anybody's head? No.
Well, yeah.
It's expensive. Anyways,
It is. It costs more than the fucking console does. It's like $850 up here. Like, are you fucking kidding me? The console's $650 up here.
I think it's the same price as the console here, right, Jesus?
no, it's 700 here.
Yeah, it's
Is it
$100
really?
bucks more,
Wow.
isn't it?
Wow.
For the new VR?
I thought it was
It's like
500.
It's $200 more.
That's what I'm talking about, guys. Like, it's
Hey,
ridiculous how
it's
hard
innovative.
they're trying to steal your money out of your pocket.
innovation
It's
costs
not
money.
though. It's not.
Yeah,
Innovation
Sony's in the
costs
hardware
money.
business right now. I seen that on a video.
Yeah.
They got the handheld, and they got the VR. They got this new Slim coming out. They're making some
Mhm.
hardware changes.
Speaking of the
They're
new
trying to find
Slim,
any way to fucking grab money out of your wallet because they are in trouble right now.
speaking of the new Slim, Sony's PlayStation's new console, there's going to be a problem if you don't have an internet connection. So,
Mhm.
if you have a PS5 Slim bundle, Gunny, okay, if you buy one without the disk drive and you buy a disk drive, like, I don't know, 2 months later down the road, and you connect your disk drive to your console, the disk drive, you must have an internet connection on that console so the disk drive can sync up the serial number to the console and
It's
attach
like
that
the
serial.
console does a handshake with the
Yeah.
with the disk drive, and it has to be online to do that handshake.
Yep.
And I assume
gotta
that
have
just
a,
can't just get any freaking disk drive. I mean, if it's only one disk drive, why
No,
do they just not?
it's a proprietary drive from Sony, and that's the whole point. It has to do a handshake with the console through this online portal. So what happens when this online portal all of a sudden goes away? Then everybody's disk
Mm.
drives don't work no more?
No, false, because this is a one-time setup thing.
Oh, okay.
Sony has
It's just
come out and
one-
said,
One
Yeah,
handshake. Yeah.
they have come out and said, look, yes, you do have to have an internet connection when setting up the disk drive. That is to pair the disk drive to your PS5. So, like, if somebody rips off the disk drive from your PS5 and tries to put it on another PS5, they know, okay, either you sold this disk drive to somebody else this disk drive now belongs to this other console.
You
Does
know
that
what this
prevent
sounds a
you
lot
from
like?
selling it? Does that prevent you from selling it though? Well, can you
I don't think
transfer
it
it?
does. They say that
No,
it
I think it
doesn't
just
prevent
handshakes
you.
with the next console.
Yeah,
Because what
it doesn't
happens if your
prevent
console dies and you buy a new one, right?
Yeah, what if
Yeah.
I
You just
steal
want to
your
swap the drive
hard
over.
drive? What if I steal your disk drive? Can I put it in mine? And would you know where I live? Could
Well,
you
I
contact
think
Sony
that-
and say, I think Gunny stole my disk drive? Can you find it on the network?
I don't know. I don't know
Right?
about
Is
that.
that how it
No,
works?
I don't think so. I don't think that's how that works.
I don't know.
Anyways,
It's not as
Probably
bad as
wouldn't
I
help me
thought it
track it
was, though.
down.
I thought it was worse than that.
They probably
no,
tell
it's
you
just
how
like
much
it's
it
a
works.
one time. They said
sounds-
it's a
It sounds a
required
lot
to
like
pair it.
what Microsoft was trying to do with Xbox One in the beginning,
yeah,
except you had to check in every day, right?
or whatever.
Every 24
But
hours?
That was
24
more.
hours.
That was more for it was every 24 hours you had to check in, but that was just to say that you still had the licenses for your games, which you have to do anyways. You know, if you're not online, half your games don't fucking work anyways.
That's true. Yeah, they don't.
You know,
Do you own
So-
this game? Yes, I own the game. Let me
everybody
play it.
got all up in arms for nothing, man, and we could have had a way fucking better, way better. I don't know. Anyways, and now Sony's doing something very similar. No one's saying anything though. Nobody cares.
In other news.
Exactly.
Your phone's online all the time.
Okay. Listen, in other news, Gunny. Okay. City
Mhm.
Skylines 2 has released, and there's a record number of players playing it. Okay. But publisher Paradox Interactive previously admitted that the game had not achieved the performance benchmark they wanted, despite the sequel reaching a concurrent player count of over 104,000 players on Steam, surpassing the original's record of 60,000 concurrent players on Steam. So it's almost 45,000 more players playing City Skylines 2 on Steam. But at launch, Paradox shared an optimization guide with players listing which settings can be changed for potential performance boost. And other adjustments which Paradox stated may help include disabling motion blur and enabling dynamic resolution. Paradox said it now aims to release patches to significantly improve different areas of performance, including fixes to stutters and more GPU and CPU optimizations. And they're also looking at expanding the options for upscaling solutions with the aim of adding support for FS2 and DLSS2. They say, we have concluded the performance is not a deal breaker for all the players. The number one priority is for players to have fun with the game, and we have seen enough feedback from players enjoying the game that it would be more unfair to postpone. Upcoming patches will improve performance on default settings, the publisher added, and it's targeting currently a steady 30 FPS minimum for the future. They revealed they set their goal for 30 FPS as the city builder will inevitably become CPU bound as the city that you build grows larger. And they must maintain a stutters down. They're trying to prevent all the stutters and maintain a responsive UI.
Lock it at 30 to keep it running smooth.
I think I'll do that. I think I'll just lock it at 30.
So there's that. Anyways, move on to some more news here. In Brazil, gamers are now upset at Xbox. Microsoft the Microsoft announced that the Series S Mayo, listen. The Series S is getting a 50% price increase
Ouch.
in Brazil. 50%
For the Series
price
S?
increase. Yes.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
the Series S?
Previously, the Series X was between 2,000 to 2,500, whatever the fuck the currency is in Brazil. Now the price is at $35.99. So it says here, Xbox, or it says Microsoft only had this to offer in a way of reasoning. They said, quote, at Xbox, we remain focused on offering the best gaming experience variety at different price points, so gamers can choose what best fits their gaming needs and their budget. Okay. They also said. They also
not
said.
answering the question by answering the question.
Listen, they also said, Mayo, quote, in the coming weeks, we will begin to communicate price adjustments for the Xbox Series S consoles in Brazil. While the console remains an important part of the Xbox ecosystem, we will continue to offer great games, skills, and options for gamers in Brazil so they can play how and where they want to play. It is unclear why only Brazil was the country targeted for this price hike, given that the world economy is unstable throughout most countries. The Series S place in the market was supposed to be a fair and affordable system, but consumers on Twitter are now offering comments such as, they're killing the Xbox Series S here in Brazil, or it defeats the purpose of the Series S being affordable. And so people in Brazil are pissed off because Microsoft just said, yeah, guys, we're increasing the pricing on this shit. Okay, it's going up. Sorry.
I mean, is this the government? It doesn't actually specify in the article, huh? Like, is the government cartels skimming off the top? What's going on? Go with the PS5, guys.
So if you're looking for a Series S in Brazil, US dollars right now at the price, it would run you about 486 US dollars
Wow.
with this latest price hike.
You're almost at
It
a
says here-
Xbox X Series X.
Last year, Sony announced a large price hike for the PS5 consoles in a number of countries, including the UK, Canada, Australia, and Japan. Shortly after that, Xbox boss Phil Spencer said that Microsoft had no plans to raise its console prices. Apparently, he was lying because they just did that.
Yeah,
Brazil.
sounds like this is a tariff. I'll bet you it's like a tariff at the port.
You think so?
Yeah, I think so.
They're stopping
Either that or it's the
X-
government just being corrupt.
Why would
right?
it
A
be just
tariff,
the Series
basically.
S
It's
and
a
not the
tax.
X as well?
That is really weird. Yeah, it's just the X, not the X. I don't see anything.
You
Right?
think
Why
it was
are
like
they
a tariff?
targeting
It's
it?
like
It
that'd
might
be
be the
both of them
government.
or all the consoles.
Yeah.
Right? Might be the I don't know. It's probably Microsoft's fault too, but yeah. Who knows? If it doesn't specify in the article, I don't know what then.
I mean, I feel for them. I mean, it's the same for me up
Right,
here.
it's supposed to be
Yeah.
cheaper.
We get gouged all the time too.
The import fee, man. What's going on?
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, you make these things in China at Foxconn at a freaking deep discount. I don't understand.
Yeah, who knows?
Right? What about the next country that's next to it? Whatever it is. Argentina, not Argentina, but Colombia, whatever is it. Not going up there, but
But another good news, the price of the Xbox memory card has gone down permanently. The 512 gigabyte model will now start at $90. The 1 terabyte is now at $150, and the 2 terabyte option now is $280. That means that the
Still
1
too
terabyte
much.
option. That means the 1 terabyte option, Ryan, has received a 32% price drop since launch, while the 2 terabyte option is now 30% off. Previously, they were priced at $220 and $400 respectively.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
there's
fucking
that.
ridiculous.
yeah. I feel like they're coming down to once they get to 40%, I think on the 1 terabyte, I might pick it up. Or, I'll
Yeah.
see it a Black Friday
I'm
deal.
waiting for 50. I'm waiting for a 50%.
Yeah. I think we
around
actually might see
around
it this year,
$100 for a
holiday.
terabyte. I'm okay with that, but fucking any more than that is just
Yeah,
too
because
much.
the PS5 ones, like the NVMe's, I see them on Amazon all the time for like $100 now, dude. Like for 1
Yeah.
terabyte, all the time,
Yeah.
the time. They're just $100 all the time. In other news, guys, other big news here in Sony land. Big problems over at Sony.
Yep.
Bungie has now announced that they are delaying Mayo. Listen. I know this is going to
I'm
affect
listening.
you. They are delaying 2 of their forthcoming titles, Marathon and Destiny's 2's expansion, The Final Shape.
Destiny's Child 2.
The Final Shape. Okay. As part of this,
The Square.
Bungie and Sony have also announced a round of layoffs at Bungie. These are part of ongoing cuts within the Sony PlayStation division. There's no official number just yet, but ex-Bungie employees have now begun posting on social media about the layoffs. Sony purchased Bungie last year at a $3.6 billion deal that was supposed to see Destiny developer operate as an independent unit within the Sony company. Today is a sad day at Bungie as we say goodbye to colleagues who have all made significant impact in our studio, Bungie CEO Pete Parsons wrote on Twitter. So it says here, the final shape is the new ambitious expansion by Destiny 2, for Destiny 2 by Bungie. It was originally expected to be released on both Sony and Microsoft's platforms in February of 2024. Now that's been delayed. It says Marathon is going to be a sequel to the Marathon game from 1994. It's now been delayed to 2025. It is a PvP extraction shooter game. And they said that they never guaranteed the release would be 2024, but they say that no longer will the game come out next year. They expect it to come out in 2025 at this point. So there's that. But yeah, I mean, who could it be that Destiny is finally dying, Mayo? Is it finally? Is it done?
Yeah,
Has
maybe.
Bungie
Well,
has Bungie milked it? Have they done too much now? What's going on?
maybe. Didn't I remember saying, wasn't Jim Ryan the one pushing the whole games as a service thing for Sony? And
Yeah.
they said that when they thought people were saying they were unhappy with the direction, and they was going to change the direction that they were going, because Sony was going that way. So maybe it has something
Yeah.
to do with them changing direction now that Jim Ryan's leaving, and whoever's taking over is like, we're not doing this games
Maybe.
as a service thing, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe
So you
Bungie
better
doesn't need all
change.
these people.
Hey, Bungie, change your shit, motherfuckers.
Yeah,
Is that what
I'm
you
just
think?
wondering if it's something like that. Maybe that's the case.
Ooh.
But I don't know. I think, just my opinion on Destiny, and I think when they come out with these expansions, I feel like again, financially, I don't know. I don't work for the company, but I feel like they're always successful, right? You've got your fan base.
Oh, they got
Yeah,
lots
I
of
think they're
Keep
fans.
for the
it,
fan
right?
base only. Like they have that fan base, but it's not I don't know. It's called a small
Why?
fan base, but I don't think it's very.
It's
Yeah, but why not
dedicated.
keep it coming? I don't
Yeah, it's
understand.
definitely
The
dedicated.
the only thing I can think of is, the corporate heads at Sony are like, tighten up that budget or we'll tighten it for you or something. So that's probably why they, announced those
With
layoffs. I
Bray,
saw it this morning on Twitter and I was pretty sad to see,
yeah.
actual employees on X, excuse me, on the X saying, I just got fucking laid off, man. What the hell? What's going on?
Last year, when
Yeah.
Sony acquired Bungie and Sony both came out and said that, look, part of this deal we're not announcing any layoffs. We don't plan to lay off anyone. Your job is secure. And now this has come out. That sucks. That really is shitty.
Yeah, but we've seen
Well,
the same thing with Microsoft and other tech companies with
I mean, it happens, right? They have to, right? Because now they have to
restructure
answer to somebody,
here.
right? They don't just answer to themselves. They answer
Right.
to
There's a
they
budget,
answer to
right?
Sony. Yeah,
Yep. There's a budget.
yeah, they
And
got to
when you exceed
answer.
it, right, it's time to make cuts.
That's crazy. It's a lot of people, man. That who knows how many people they actually laid off.
Yeah. Did they say how
But
many were at Bungie? Did you say it was 1,300?
no, that
Or
was
just
that
all?
was that was Ubisoft
Oh, never mind. Yeah, I was going to
with
say
their
that's a lot of people for Bungie. Yeah.
that's Ubisoft with their restructuring. They laid off 1,300 people in the last year. They said,
Yeah.
but yeah, doesn't say how many people exactly
Right. But
Sony is
am I
laying
on the
off.
right track, right? If you're not constantly, putting out content for, a game as a service such as Bungie, right? People, they're going to lose interest and go to other things,
Games, yeah,
but
yeah.
you got to make money to spend money. So I don't understand. There's something more going on here.
How many more layoffs do you think is going to happen over at Sony?
I don't know.
I
A
think a
lot, I
lot.
think.
Yeah,
I think a lot. I think we're not done hearing about Sony laying people
I
off.
think Jim Ryan leaving is gonna create a whirlwind of people leaving that company.
A change in general, like
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
changing of the
regime
guard
change
kind of thing. Like
in North
exactly.
America.
There's gonna be like a spring cleaning, just where they just go through and just okay, what's redundant, and that seems to be what's happening. Like if you just type in PlayStation layoffs into Google, you're gonna see like what's been going on the last 6 months,
Yeah,
and
'cause I don't.
it's a lot of stuff, man. There was Media Molecule and fucking. I think they shut down one of their whole divisions. They shut down the Dreams team. There's been a lot of stuff, man.
So what is this, Ryan? Is this Microsoft acquisition of
No,
Activision,
no.
ABK, and
I think
a
it's
lot of
just
that revenue coming from Call of Duty now to Microsoft, or is this just world economy stuff?
no. That's not what's happening here. I think it's more the world economy stuff and Sony just trying to tighten up its boots because they know they
Mhm.
got a fucking long haul to go through right now. Like I said, Sony's in a situation where that Microsoft was in the last 2 years, and they'll probably be in it for the next 2 years. So we'll see what
And
happens.
with that being said, though, we all know that eventually Sony will come out with good games because they have the IPs.
Absolutely.
They have
Oh,
them,
yeah.
and they own them, and they own the studios that make them. So they will definitely come out with the new Last of Us, a new God of War. All that shit will come out again.
Yeah, all their sad dad games will come out again.
Boy,
Don't you worry.
boy.
Boy.
But yeah, this apparently is also like the layoffs. This comes after, of course, Epic announced 900 members going to be laid off in September. CD Projekt Red also announced that they're laying off about 100 people.
It's not just Sony, it's happening everywhere.
It's everywhere.
Niantic, Niantic, the Pokemon Go people are laying off people. Telltale's laying off people.
Mhm.
EA and Unity have also said they're letting go of a lot of employees.
Microsoft too.
Yep.
They
And
laid off a
Microsoft.
lot of people too at the beginning of the year.
Yep. So
Yeah.
it's happening, man. It's
A lot of these companies hired big during COVID because
yeah.
there was a boom, you know what I mean? And now that's kind of dwindled away, and a lot of these companies are just like, well, we got to get rid of, trim the fat.
That's
The
crazy.
thing that pisses me off is companies like Activision, like EA, that are coming out and reporting fucking record profits, and
Yeah.
they're still laying people off. It's like, oh, you don't need to do that. You're making record profits, so why
That's
don't
when
you
you-
fucking continue to pay your goddamn employees
man.
that
The
you fucking sign
CEO
contract? Right,
CEO needs a new.
Bobby
He needs a
Bobby
yacht.
needs his new
Guy.
fucking yacht. Yeah, I get it. Bobby needs his yacht.
He needs
Profit
a new
share.
yacht, man. The last one is last year's model. He needs
I
this
know,
year's
man.
model.
I know. You can't do that.
He
Can't be
needs
cruising
20.
around in last year's model.
No, like a hobo. What do you expect? God, man, can't
Right?
be
It's greedy,
driving.
right? You got your profit share, that these
And that's
these
the
people
thing,
are
like
expecting a certain amount.
his fucking yearly bonus probably could have paid for all those people's salaries.
Yeah.
Literally. The bonus he's gonna get from when Microsoft fires him or whatever.
Oh yeah, his golden parachute, right?
Oh yeah, his fucking his $170 million fucking bonus he's probably gonna get from leaving the company or whatever.
Yeah,
It's
it's disgusting.
That is disgusting. It's sad. It's crazy. So in other news, Spider-Man 2 is the fastest selling PlayStation Studio game ever, Mayo.
Yeah. Are we surprised?
2.5 million copies
Wait,
in
what?
just 24 hours.
No,
What? Yeah.
I hit the wrong button.
Spider-Man 2 hit 2.5 million copies faster than any God of War, faster than any Uncharted ever, and faster than any Last of Us release. Any of them. The remaster, the originals,
Wow.
the number 2. It is the fastest selling Sony IP PlayStation Studio game ever. That means it's now number 1. It's the
course it
king,
is.
Gunny. It's
Do you
the
think it
fucking
could
king.
be, thinking about the PlayStation, how there hasn't really been anything in a while to come out with it that's
True.
for the PS5? Think that has anything to do with it? Because a lot of us PS5
Well,
owners been sitting
when
there
the
waiting
fuck
for
did
that.
what was the last big PS5 thing that they made? What was, I don't.
When
Is this the only game that's
Yep.
exclusively on the PS5?
I know what it.
Yeah.
Man, I can't think of the name of it.
Because like
What was
God
the
of War
last
was
one?
on both.
Was Returnal on? Was Ratchet and Clank
Returnal.
on both? Ratchet and Clank wasn't on both.
No,
No,
Ratchet
it was
and
on
Clank was
5.
on this. It was
Yeah.
on 5
Yeah.
only.
But I
Mm.
mean, it's been a while since everybody's, from Sony. If you played all those games and you got to play PS5 when it first came out, you've
Yeah.
probably been sitting there waiting for a while. So I can see everybody wanting to grab this right away. I mean, it's a good game, obviously, but that probably helps it a little bit too because, when you had like a series, what we're dealing with now with all these games coming out, that you had God of War and all that stuff probably coming out closer together. You would
It
probably
came
make
out.
financial choices.
It came out at a good time too. I feel like right after
Yeah.
Starfield, right after all the big ones kind of got out of the way. It was like a
Well,
lull,
I think everything kind of got out of its way.
You think so?
Mario didn't.
Spider-Man?
Mario didn't.
Yeah.
Mario said, "Screw
Mario
you,
did it.
Mario's a
Spider-Man."
different beast altogether, though.
Yeah,
Like,
Mario, they don't give a fuck. They're
we're
like,
Nintendo. We do it how we want to do it.
2.5 million copies. That's cute, Sony. That's cute.
that's the thing, right? Like, as great as Sony's games are, they don't sell as well as people think they do. Like,
No, because they're saying that's the best they've ever done, ever. Like, they said no God of War, no Uncharted, no Last of Us has ever done that. And those games
sold
were
that
fucking
fast, yeah.
huge.
Well, they're gonna
Yeah.
be limited. They're gonna be limited to PlayStation
Well,
consoles
I think it was
only.
God of War Ragnarok,
like
right? They were displeased with on those numbers. Am I
an
correct on
Assassin's
that?
Creed game's gonna do better because
It's on all
it's got
the
more platforms to sell
Multi-platforms,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like Microsoft has the advantage of doing it on PC and
And that's why
console.
this whole fucking thing with console exclusivity bullshit, it all needs to fucking end.
Yeah, it
Just
does.
release your games, fucking release them to a bigger audience so that the fucking devs can make more money and continue to make great games.
You're really gonna have
fucking
your fan base for each PlayStation and Xbox is probably gonna stay where they're at. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And they would just buy those anyways. Like, I don't think it's really a console seller in that aspect. Like if you could get
It
it on
is
both,
sure it is. It could be a
yes, it
console.
is,
Something like
but
Spider-Man can be a console seller.
yeah,
But
it can, but
it's
it'd be
not.
more
You're
money
gonna
down the road,
make
I think.
more money if you release it on all platforms.
Right.
You know
Do you
what I mean?
imagine how much money Nintendo would make tomorrow if they just said, hey, oh yeah, by the way, all the Mario games, all the
Everywhere.
Mario games we've released in the last year or two, and the Zeldas and Pokemons, yeah, they're gonna be on Xbox and PlayStation and PC in like the next year.
Fuck.
All right, guys, bye. They would make so much fucking money, dude. They would be
Mhm.
like insane amounts of money, dude. They'd be buying Sony. That's how much money they would be making off all that shit,
Yeah.
Like they would be like, that's all they would have to do. Be like, oh yeah, by the way, we partnered with Xbox and Sony. We kind of came to a deal, and yeah, look, Xbox gets Pokemon, Sony gets Zelda, Mario goes to everything. Oh, and we're gonna put it on the PC too. Like, fuck it, we don't even care. Like, yeah, it's gonna go on the PC too. Enjoy.
Hey,
Oh,
John.
and Apple paid us to put it all on the iPhone too. We're gonna put that shit on the iPhone as well. We don't care.
The
You
new
really think
iPhone,
Apple
yeah.
would do that, Jesus? Apple is like, no, it has to go through our store.
Apple would fucking love to have
Exclusive.
Mario games on their fucking phone.
They would tell Nintendo
Terms of
still, it would
service.
be like, you need to go through our store though. And we
Mhm.
need
We
30%.
need a 30% cut.
Oh, that would be insane though, man. But like,
Yeah.
I'm with you guys. I do wish that like we could play Spider-Man on the Xbox and that
Yeah.
we could play all the Xbox games like Starfield and the next Elder Scrolls and Fable 4 on all that shit on the PlayStation, you know, because like you're right, it would create happier
Happier place?
gamers and a bigger market for everyone.
Better
Yeah.
budgets for developers.
Gaming could become so much more bigger than what it is. It's big
Mhm.
now. If they would just all fucking work together, they would make it a powerhouse. They could be like the next Comcast and shit and take over entertainment, dude. But they're too bickery. They're too they're too like, oh fuck you, no, fuck you,
They
no,
have
fuck
they,
you.
they
Need
have
our
they have an
ecosystem.
old generation mindset where
Yeah.
there's a new generation coming it's changed. It's different.
The future is everything on everything, man. Like just do whatever the fuck you want. We don't care anymore. Like that's what cable
I hope
companies
so.
I think cable companies are real like cable you could tell that television and Netflix and all that shit, like Hulu and Netflix and all these motherfuckers, they've realized that like we don't need to be on TV. We just fucking stream this shit anywhere. We don't give a
Mhm.
fuck. You know? Like if these fucking console companies like Microsoft and Sony and Nintendo can get their shit together and just say, you know what? We can all just be together, guys, and just fucking release everything on everything.
Mhm.
Make it parody.
Well,
Make it to
you've
where
heard, over Microsoft them say that, like
they want to, but like
Have
these
a
other
have
Nintendo
a
and
he
Sony.
said
store.
that about Nintendo. Like he was like,
So,
oh, they could sell so much more if they would.
so
Yeah.
so you have like a store that has an emulator in it, and then on when you're on a different platform, you play through the store through like the Nintendo store or the PlayStation
Yeah.
store if you're on an Xbox. You know what I mean, or vice versa if you're on a different console.
Like
Like
we
I don't
wouldn't
know.
care as gamers, we wouldn't
It would
care
just
if we
give more
it
people more
yeah.
access to more games.
Yeah.
Jesus, it'd probably be kind of like us on PC, where we have like the EA store, the Ubisoft
Yeah.
store.
It would be just like that. It would be
It would
literally
be
Yep.
just
like
like
that.
that.
Yep.
Just like that, where we have to
It'd be
sign
like
up for
a
EA.
launcher. Exactly, like a launcher. Yeah.
That's it. That's all they have to
And
do
it
is
might
say,
it might come
we'll
to
work
that down the
together.
road, like as they continue to quit dumping money into hardware, and as streaming becomes more relevant,
Just
like
stream
maybe
everything.
you
Yeah.
Yeah.
stream everything, and you just have a store, and you buy it from whatever app you want to buy it, and stream it to any
And you don't
device.
need a little box under your TV because it's just an app on your TV
Just
already.
pay your rental, your monthly fee, and
Yeah. Pay your Xbox subscription to play your Xbox games and pay your Nintendo subscription and your PlayStation subscriptions and you'll be fine.
Yeah,
let's
man.
make that muddy.
And
We'll have
when
net
you can't
this week. This week
afford
I
it,
have
you
Netflix.
could be like, hey, yeah, this month I'm gonna have my Xbox. Next month I'm gonna have my PlayStation. The
Yeah.
month after that I'm gonna have my Nintendo,
Yeah.
and then I'll
Yeah.
cycle through. You know.
Yeah, because this month Xbox is dropping a game. Next month Nintendo's dropping a game.
Exactly.
The
Right.
month after that Sony's dropping a game. So I'll just subscribe to different ones as we go. Like, let's do that. Why the fuck are these companies not working together, man? They need to get their shit
Do
together.
bundles
Seriously.
like Disney does, like with Disney Plus.
Yeah.
It's like Disney Plus and ESPN and Hulu or something like it. You
Yeah.
could get like
Have the ultimate bundle where you bundle fucking the Nintendo and PlayStation and Xbox, and it's a bundle now. It's for everything. It's $50 a month. People would pay
Split
it, dude.
three ways. I like it.
People would pay it. People would
Yeah.
fucking pay it. I would. I know I would.
yeah,
You're
I
telling me
would.
you guys wouldn't pay $50? I mean,
Absolutely.
even if people had to pay a subscription fee and pay for the games on top of that, people would still do it. People would
I don't
still
know
do
about
it.
that, Jesus. Google tried that and
People,
it did not work.
yes, but Google is not. It's not Nintendo. Google is not Sony. Google is not Microsoft. They don't have these IPs to make you want to do it. That's the difference. The difference is,
Yes.
hey, you want to play the new Mario, Ryan? Guess what?
Yeah,
You're gonna
I
pay
do.
us. Okay, you're gonna pay us $20 for the online subscription, and then you pay us another $60 to play it. You're gonna do it. Because you have no other fucking choice. That's why.
Wow.
Yeah.
See,
Kinda like now.
there's where the problem lies.
I gotta buy their
right?
plastic hardware.
People
Yeah.
like their choices. You know what I mean?
I don't
Like
know, man.
people like to have their choices.
But
You
you
look
take
at,
away
like,
the choice.
You look at how many people are fighting to keep physical media alive. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it happens. I know I'm not personally one of them. I don't really care about physical media at all, but there are a lot of people out there that do, you know. And you got to think about that. Sometimes there's a strong other side, you know what I mean, to the argument.
Yeah, I think I haven't looked at all the details on Alan Wake 2, but there was a one of our fellow podcasters from not VGO, but the Gaming Outsider. He's like, "How the fuck does Alan Wake 2 not have a physical gaming disc release?"
They
I don't
don't.
know if it's planned on having one, but
They do eventually.
yeah. There's been several games that have done that. Like we're coming out digital, then a physical, right? Then they kind of get a count of how many plastic discs they need to print.
All right, guys, I got to split.
All right, Ron.
All right, have a good night, guys.
Have a good
Peace out.
night.
All right. See you, Ryan.
Thanks for having me. Bye, everybody.
Later, Canadian. Well, he left at a pretty good time because I
It's
don't have really more news.
7.
I don't have any more news. I mean, that was really it. You know, the layoffs are coming for Bungie. Despite that, Sony says that they did really good with Spider-Man, and that's really it. I mean, yeah, no other
All
news
right.
really, man.
Let's move over to my favorite console corner of things on this Halloween weekend. All
Okay.
right, guys. What do we got? I didn't update PlayStation because I don't know what's coming out for November. So I'm still going with October for PlayStation Plus. You've still got the Callisto Protocol game, Farming Simulator 22. I know there's people out there that play that, and Weird West. So
Yeah.
pick up those 3 on the PlayStation. Probably the 4 and the 5. I would say they're on both consoles.
Is it Xbox that's no longer doing the games with gold? Is that what
No
they're-
more gold, my friend. I know. It's like, where'd that app go?
What
It's
the
not there
fuck?
anymore.
Yeah, they just threw it
Oh.
in Game Pass, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
the free games are on Game Pass.
Yeah, pretty much. Like they'll just add shit from like I've noticed that, right? You see something come up in the 360, it'll just pop up on Game Pass.
I mean, they pretty much abandoned it. You look at the last games, you know, for like the last 6
What the
months or
hell were
whatever.
they? Yeah, like
Nobody could
nothing,
even
yeah.
like nothing. Yeah, they were like the most minor single A games that
I was
indie
at that
games.
point. I was at that point where I'm like, yeah, you got this game that is like a puzzler. It's like, yeah,
Nobody ever heard of it before. Everybody's like
Yeah.
Googling to see what it is.
I played it in 2008, I think. I got a disc from GameStop for $2.94. Yeah, anyway. So, what do we got for Game Pass, man? I haven't really looked besides.
What City
Forza-
Skylines was this way came out?
Oh, shit. Let's see. What do we got? I'm just going to go to the app itself. Let's see. So, City Skylines 2. Phoenix Point. I think Phoenix Point is, I believe that is the turn-based XCOM style type game. So this one's already been on Game Pass. Again, I'm looking on the PC side of things. I don't know. I couldn't get into it. I feel like I'm just going to go play XCOM, not Phoenix Point. You've got Bethesda's The Evil Within. So I know that's been on there. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Shocktober, guys. Disregard that. So Dead Space, guys.
Shocktober.
Shocktober. Yeah, I'm looking at like horror games over here. Phoenix Point is not one of them, by the way.
I did see in their coming to Game Pass section they have Headbangers coming on the 31st. It looks something like a Fall Guys kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, it does.
Dungeons 4 coming out on November 8th.
I think that's new, right? Because I think the last one was 3.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think there's 2 of them on Game Pass right now. I've never played a Dungeons game, by the way.
I mean, is this kind of it right now for like when it comes to like all these anticipated Microsoft games that we were looking at for the year. I mean, they're pretty much all
It's
out now,
kind of
right?
it, right? They're
Yeah, I
Because
out,
feel like
yeah.
Skyline just kind of
Starfield,
like the last
Forza.
one.
Yeah. So,
Everything's out, dude. I mean,
yep,
We're just waiting
for
what
the
Call of
holidays,
Duty to
except for
wrap
Call
up
of
the
Duty.
year, and then
Call of Duty will wrap it all up, yeah, and then pretty much on to next year. Um, yeah, that's really about it. There's nothing else that's coming out that's big, right?
Yeah. And just a quick mention, the only update I don't think we've ever mentioned on the show to Redfall was just up to 60 FPS, I
yeah,
think,
Is it
right?
nobody
is it
cares.
out now?
You know? Yeah, I think it had come out, and I think it just
Yeah, yeah,
quietly
it
was
came out a
like
couple weeks
out,
ago.
and nobody said anything.
Yeah, yeah. It's still the same game. It's just at 60 FPS, right?
Yeah, it didn't make it any better.
144 hertz or whatever it was. I don't know. Yeah.
The one game that I heard did get better was that new the Ark game. Got a big
Oh, yeah, yeah,
update.
yeah. I've been looking at that.
That
Ascend.
survival ascended or whatever. It looks like a remake. Well, they remade the original game. They said that
Hmm.
they added a bunch of gameplay changes. They said they did a graphic overhaul. They improved the AI of all the dinosaurs. They improved the pathfinding of the dinosaurs. Uh, the entire gameplay has been overhauled. The original gameplay, and it's pretty much just said this is like the the ultimate way. This is the way to play Ark. So so it said like if you're a new player, or even an existing player, you want to play Ark Survival Ascended because this is the way to play it. This is this is the way to play it. Fuck Survival Evolved. It's Survival Ascended now.
Yeah. And so I was speaking to Ghost Nico last night, and he was actually upset about this. The fact that, hey, I already own this game, but now they're coming out the same game. But okay, it says here it's reimagined from the ground up. So
Yeah,
why do you got to pay another $40 for this game? Um,
because
so
they
looking
pretty
at the
much
reviews here on
remade it.
Steam is mixed and a lot of negatives as well.
Well, it's because people are probably pissed off they have to pay again, right?
Yeah, it just says paying $40 for a graphics upgrade for a game I already paid for and have all the expansions for. So that's just the quick thing on that. It's got the system specs. Yeah, so there's
Hmm.
that crashes, blah blah blah. Obviously on PC. Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait for a holiday sale. Hopefully, put that in your wish list. I'm gonna add it right now. Actually, might come down to $36.22, guys, in December. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Um, so yeah, but I think I did play that first one. I enjoyed it. Me and my kid used to play it all the time, and uh, games like that. And who's that developer on there? Um, that is okay. So maybe a different developer. So this is Studio Wild Card. I don't know who made Conan. Was that the same? Maybe a different team or whatever. But I do one thing I've always enjoyed. Me. I'm all about mods and different things where. But again, even going back to consoles where they've got the different servers, where it's almost like a god mode in some respects, and wacky modes, and one hit kills and stuff. And yeah, you can find there's hard mode. Oh, it's just so many different options I liked on that first one. So I hope that that's actually in there.
Mhm.
Um, but moving on over to the Epic Store for your free games, you have Tandem: A Tale of Shadows. Looks like a puzzle game. Claim that one. And The Evil Within 2. So this is Bethesda Microsoft's Tango Gameworks studio. So Evil Within 2. I came really, really close to finishing this. I know Sean Fuller, he actually gifted me this game when we first started the revitalization of this show. It's actually really good. So, if you're into Resident Evil, I definitely recommend The Evil Within 2. And that's all I have for the console corner, guys. That's all we have. And oh yeah, Jesus. Evan said he's pissed off because the last episode wasn't titled Mario Duty, so maybe we should title Mario Duty this time.
No, we can't do that.
I remember Jesus. When we got done with the show, you and I were hanging out and chatting. We were trying to remember a
How
name.
the fuck do
I'm
I
like,
name this? I don't know.
well, we need Evan
Yeah.
around sometimes, you know.
Definitely. Evan, we need you around, Evan. Come around.
Yeah, where
more
are
often.
you?
Where are you, Evan? Stop barking at trees and get on the fucking show. God damn it. Fucking Evan. Where the hell is he at?
Probably playing Assassin's Creed.
Evan. He's probably working. That guy works a lot. Probably working, doing Evan things. I don't know what Evan does on his time off.
What does he do, Mayo? Is he still electrifying things?
Yeah, what does he do? What does he do, man? You lived with him for a year.
Oh, I can tell you what he did when he
Is
was
he hacking
here, but
servers?
yeah, he was just hanging out playing video games here. You know, do a little bit
That's
of
what he does.
frisbee golf when he could and the weather was okay. You
Mm,
know, but
What a life.
nice. Nice. All right, then. Well, Gunny, thank you for sharing with us what we can get for free. Now, where can we find you?
Go find me on Xbox, on there, and Steam as gamer tag Gunny Chief, one word, and over on the PlayStation 4, being a hobo playing God of War and the old Spider-Man games. HGP_Gunny. Where do we find you, Mayo?
All right.
oh man, you're gonna find me on PlayStation and on Xbox as the Mayo, over on the PC and on Steam as the Mayo, and on Discord as well. Pretty much playing a little bit of everything still. I feel like I'm all over the place in these games. You know, I'm playing Nintendo games. I'm playing, Game Pass games with racing games. I'm playing Spider-Man 2. Hopefully, I'll finish that one up here soon. Hopefully, I'll finish up Mario. I want to dive into Alan Wake. Like that game looks amazing, and like I said, that little bit it was kind of slow, but it felt like it was like a story I could get into, and the cinematics and the graphics are just amazing in that game, and I really want to get into that. So on top of that, there's so many other games. Jesus, like we were talking about a while back. I fired up some Red Dead 2 the other night.
Nice.
Playing a little bit of Red Dead. I fired up some, this new graphics card. Maybe I'm gonna go fire up some older games. Cyberpunk. Fired that up and played some of that. It's like all over the place right now.
I'm
A lot of
almost
stuff to
done with
play.
Cyberpunk. I think I finished the main mission, the main last mission that I was gonna do in the DLC. I'm pretty sure I'm done with it. I just gotta finish the story up. So they're still having me do missions that are like wrapping up the DLC, like all the little loose ends. But I'm pretty much done. Like I just gotta see the ending of it. It already rolled credits, but I haven't seen like the end of the game. I don't feel like, because
Mhm.
you remember how in the original game V is dying because Johnny the relic is in his head, right? He's
Right.
dying, and the ending of the original game has you make a choice where like you either like remove Johnny or you kill yourself or you just live out till Johnny kills you or whatever. So this new DLC has a new ending, and I haven't seen that ending yet. I've seen the story end, but like it says, wait a few days for Reed to call you, which is the character that Idris plays or whatever in the DLC. But it's like he hasn't called me, so I don't know like what the fuck I'm gonna do there. I don't know like what the choice is, because I made a choice. He told me, what do you want to do, like he gave me the option of what I wanted to do, and I told him I want to do this, and he said, okay, we're gonna do that. Let me go get things set up, and I'll call you in a few days. So I don't know, who knows. Hopefully next time I fire it up he gives me a call and I can see the ending of that wrap up, and we'll see what happens to V at the end of that DLC. Who knows? Probably another fucked up ending like the original game.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't see it ending like in a positive way. Like the original game, none of the endings were good. They were all like sad in some fucking way. Like it was all fucked up. Like there was never there wasn't like oh, V got the chip out of his head and he lived happily ever after. It's like no, It's all like V died in a horrible death. V shot himself and killed himself. V ended up like in a chip himself. It's all like fucked up endings, you know? Like none of them were good, Gunny. So hopefully this DLC has a little bit of a better, more lighthearted ending, but I don't think it will. The way the game
I don't think so either.
way the
I
game is
can't see it
gone, I don't think
happening.
it has. No, because the DLC is pretty dark and it ends
He settles down. He has 3
pretty.
kids in a
Yeah,
nice
yeah.
white picket fence house.
Yeah. V
Yeah.
gets a big thank you from the president and she buys him a house and he lives happily ever after in Night City. No, I don't think that's the way it's gonna end for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Anyways,
Awesome.
find me on everything as Jesus Walks Loud. I'll be playing some more games, of course. I'm gonna be playing some more Starship Troopers. The Hive DLC is out now, Gunny. So I think you go into the hives as a 4-man squad, and you have like objectives to like destroy these hives inside like a cave, and then you have to extract. Once you blow them all up and kill them, then you have to extract out of the cave and get to the extraction point to escape. And I was playing that the other day. I did about 2 or 3 of them, and dude, that shit's hard. It is really hard, man.
Are you
Because like I was
building defenses within this
no,
cavern?
no, you're in the cavern, and like there's like a objective is to like blow up the nest or whatever of the hive or whatever. It's called the hive. You gotta blow up these like nest egg things where the aliens are like their babies are. So you're shooting your way into the cave, killing all the aliens that are coming out, and then once you blow up the eggs, you try to get the fuck out, and that's like it is fucking damn near impossible, dude. Because you remember how in the game like all the bugs come out of the ground and shit. Now
Yeah, like in
imagine
the
that.
movie. Like in the movie, yeah.
Okay, imagine that, but you're in a cave now, so
Oh
there's less
shit.
places. There's less places for you to run to and hide, and there's less of you because in the other mode there's like 20 of you, right? In this mode there's only 4 players.
It's like a Gears of War style type. It reminds
Oh,
me.
it's so hard, dude.
Yeah.
I we got
Little World War
fucking
Z in
wrecked.
there.
I was like, run! We're trying to extract. I'm just like fucking trying to run to the exit. I did not make it to the exit. Those aliens are fast, dude. They're fast. And they're fucking chasing you down. So you're trying to like turn around, shoot, turn around and keep running. Have your next guys turn around and shoot as you run past them. Then you stop. You turn around to shoot and have them run back. So you're trying to run back in like a line, you know, trying to keep some of you guys covering fire while the others are running back. And if your team is not coordinated, you're fucked. And that's what happened to us. We were too uncoordinated, and the stupid guys, instead of turning around to shoot and cover me, they just kept running and they left me
Yeah.
behind.
Just keep going.
Then they fucked it all up, and then we all died eventually. Because then the zombies start spawning in front of you and behind you, and so you're shooting at the ones in front of you, but you're not sure if to shoot back at the ones running behind you or the ones in front of you. It was fucking hectic. But I'm gonna play some more of that, and of course I'll be playing the new Battlefield event starting tomorrow, Halloween, the Dark Creations event, which is like a zombie event in Battlefield where like this company was working on some AI humans or whatever, and the humans AI zombie things became crazy, and they're trying to kill your squad, and they're like all over the map, and you have to get in there and shut them down or whatever. I want to play that mode. It's called Dark Creations. Comes out tomorrow. It's like a week-long event. It looks really cool, Mayo. I'll send you the trailer for it right now when we're done with
Yeah.
the
Send me the
show.
trailer.
It looks fucking cool. It looks like a zombie horde mode with like some crazy
I have
looking
it. I have it
AI.
installed right now on through Game Pass on
Oh
PC.
yeah, we'll play some of that. And anyways, I'm out of here. Did you tell me we could find you, Mayo?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're out of here, everyone. Peace out, Brussels sprouts. We'll catch you on the next Horrible Gamers podcast. Happy Halloween to everyone.
Joy Halloween.
Okay. Okay, Gunny. Anyways, bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.